live.
in here. It's probably. Oh, look, 8. Oh, look at that.
Fancy pants.
Carrots.
Is that a bit of toilet paper stuck to his arse? We're live, by the way.
Modeled after yours truly. Actually, I don't really use toilet
Oh,
paper
you're
anymore. So.
a bit like a bit of spurt of water going in the right direction.
Right. Yeah, I like a bit of water in my eye. Oh, look at this.
Here we go.
Oh, God,
Delivery for Fraser.
What's he got? What's he got?
Cup of
That
tea.
didn't look very healthy. Cup of tea and a biscuit.
It's oat biscuits. Oh, look at that. Got a big rock.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this
all-
mug, Pilch, if you ever come to visit.
What have we all got on our cup of
covered in
chars?
I've got a very odd cup of char. You see that's right back to front, is it? Or is that the right way around?
Neil's got one of his cups of tea that makes him louder as the night goes on. Right, are we ready? Are we live
How
yet?
big does that bottle look? It's literally big as my head.
It does look big.
It's not a bottle of wine.
A goggle of
Goggle
gear.
Goggle of gear.
Oh, great minds.
Great minds.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's in the case here.
Are we going to be agreeing again later, Fraser? When
let's
Neil
put
gets
that, let's put
outvoted?
that to a vote. Who thinks that was a sign of great minds? I'd say yes.
Yeah, I'm voting for that.
Oh well, you're
This is-
outvoted no matter what.
This is
Neil.
not good, is
Unless
it?
you go, unless you say yes, then you can just join us.
I'm going to say Dave would definitely agree with me.
on our crusade.
Well,
of
he's not here.
Oh, it's unfortunate for me. Obviously, I'm going to get
Well,
bullied
before we
again.
get too carried away, I'm not here next week, so you'll have.
What, Mister? I don't miss a show except for this one and this one and this one and this one.
Well, I've got to do my one a month Friday next Friday. So
Are you actually
All
doing
right.
it? I didn't realise. I was thinking about
Yeah.
giving a game away tonight. No one in the fucking
Oh.
chat.
All right. Are we going to
Well,
start
not
the
yet,
show?
mate. Have we not started?
Not yet.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? To be honest.
Can we start the show?
That was a burp if it didn't come through. Which means yes.
Okay. Well, we wait for you to give us the signal.
We're live. We've been live
Give
for
us
like
the sig-
4
Have
minutes or something. Yeah.
We've been live
Everyone's been
for
watching us
6
jibber
minutes,
jabber.
7 minutes.
Oh.
7 minutes.
It's been 3
Show.
minutes of 4 minutes of absolute bullshit, as per.
That's all right. It'll give
Not
us
that you
something
could really
to-
tell we hadn't started the show, obviously.
All right. Episode
Right,
112.
don't interrupt.
We're not
Hey,
interrupted.
everybody, and
Says
welcome.
at the top.
Oh, Jesus. The guy who says don't interrupt.
In time.
I said, why did you start when he says don't interrupt? I'm saying,
Anybody got anything else they need to get out?
I'm all right at the moment.
Here we go. I knew it. Like I was just about to start. There we go. It's the delay. It's the Pilch delay, which is the killer. Hey, everybody,
Come
and
on.
welcome to. Here we go.
What are you
Hey,
doing in your
everybody,
cup?
and oh my god.
Is that you sure that's tea in that mug?
Who are you talking to? Me or him?
Him.
Him.
His nibs.
Me? I've got
Hey,
tea.
everybody. Come on. I'm going to start now. Come on. Quiet now. I'll just have to mute you all. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 112. For the 112th time, I've tried to start this show. I am your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my right by Pilch.
Bonsoir.
And below me is Neil.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we don't have Dave again. He is still on the road to recovery. Says he's feeling better, but he's still not 100%. So he's going to rest up again tonight. Have a break. Good for him. Dave, you're sorely missed, but I'm glad you're getting better. Are we all right, boys?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Intros and shout-outs. Let's just crack straight on then, because that's it. We pretty much got the there's about 10 minutes of pleasantries before we even started. So we've got really nothing to throw in here. Y'all missed it. Sorry, folks. So let's get into the intro and shout-outs. Somebody in here has put Cobby and Marty.
Yep.
What do we know? What do we know about these two reprobates?
I've scrolled past them now. It was just to say that a bit of a thank you, really, for always give us a bit of support on the Twitters, and the YouTubes and the tweet and the Twitch and all that. They're two that regularly interact on the Twitter or what have you.
Yeah, not like the rest of everyone.
There's quite a few people giving the likes on the Twitters as well. So MS Rangers
Yep.
and Paul W and Michael Redmond. Just wanted to give them a bit of a shout out. Mint Safe as well. They're the regular sort of likers, and Lord, obviously, he's always there, lurking around on the
suspects.
Twitch and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thought I'd better give a bit of a shout out, and particularly wanted to shout out Cobby for he recommended us and the Veteran Gamers and Joysticks and Chill
Ugh.
to a proper person. Not sure they'll actually listen, because a proper person from the gaming industry who was searching for podcasts. Don't know if you know of Ben Hansen. He's
Never heard of him.
Used to be off of the Game Informer, and he's left there and set up MinMax with some other people. So yeah, professionals.
Nice.
So we'll wait and see.
All right. Well, if he
what happens
listens,
there.
then thank you very much, everyone, for all that and the recommendations. I'll give a shout out to my friend Anthony, who is not a gamer, but he went in and said that he really enjoyed our bants, and pretty much just switched off when we started talking about video games. But that's fair enough, because he's a proper adult, not like us.
Yeah.
So, but he said he enjoys the bants, which is good because it's pretty much what it's mostly about. So cheers, Ant. See if he picks up on the shout out. See if I get a text from him on this shout out. We'll see what his dedication is like. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's been some great interactions. Really, it's what we do it for. It's why we do it. It really makes it all worthwhile. It'd be nice if there was some money involved, but there isn't. So we'll take the gratitude and the platitudes. But yeah, in all seriousness, though, we really do appreciate it. Okay, let's go on then. Now let's finish off that love-in, and let's go on to the Fantasy League. Neil,
No, we're not talking about Fantasy League this week.
What? Why not, mate?
No, I'm not going to talk about it.
Come on.
No.
Do I have to
Are
pull
you
it up
dropping
here?
down the old table?
I have actually dropped down the table. I went up the table and then I dropped down the table because I don't know if I can bring myself to say it. My fucking son is beating me now.
Brilliant. He is as well. Yep. Oh dear.
So yeah, you can imagine what that's like.
Oh
What
my
about the
god.
missus?
He's
She's
got
still
he's
on
got
top
to be
of her,
enough, is
though.
it?
Well, my missus was second top scorer last week, so she is worryingly close as well now. So yeah, this house, I don't know. Fantasy football is not a subject that gets approached anymore.
Oh dear.
So you were
Am I
in the
lying
top three.
completely?
Now you're
No,
not
I
even
wasn't
going to
in
be
the
in
top
the top three of your own house.
But I suppose I better say.
Well, if
was
it's any
middle of the
consolation,
road, I guess, for last week.
Fletch looks like he shit the bed this week. He only had a 20.
Yeah.
He only had a 27. So, but you know what? He's still up there. John had another good week. So he's putting in a shift.
Vince O'Connor had a belter.
Vince O'Connor is worrying me now. He is
You
hot
should
on
be
my
worried.
heels.
13 points in it now.
Yeah, that's the one to watch. Me and him are having. He is. Yeah, he's causing me a little bit of concern there for my second place spot.
Well, another week like that, and you will be in third place.
Yeah, if he does that, he gained 31 points on me this week. So, yeah, and I lost 10 points against Christian, so Christian's extended his lead.
Yeah.
A little bit from me.
21 points closer for Vince on the top place as well. So it's not a million miles away there now either.
No, that is a cracking week he had, 91 points.
I wouldn't like to say I'd copied his team, but I've definitely added a couple that he's not in his team into mine. Played my wild card this week. My second wild card has been played, so I'm not finalised it yet. Obviously, there's two teams with a double game week coming up: Manchester United and Brighton.
Yeah, I brought in a couple of Brighton players for this weekend.
Brighton are away for both their games, and Man United are at home for both their games. So they've both got double hard fixtures, obviously, because Man United are shit at home. I don't know if they really are, to be honest. They're just shit, but somehow near the top of the league, despite being fucking shite. So, yeah, we'll see. There's some good, interesting bargains around at the moment. That players that are in good form that are very cheap. Mentioning no names, but
keep that to yourself.
Yeah, and I've gone for a bit of a change of tactic. I've just fucked off all the good strikers because it's just too expensive and don't get any points.
Mate, your value's never in strikers unless there's a really on form striker.
Yeah.
But there hasn't really been one since Henri. I don't think there's.
Well, Harry Kane was pretty reliable, but he's having a bit of a.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was expensive, but he was good value for goals every season. But this season, not been great, is it really?
No, midfield's where you really make the points. You know, you want a dependable keeper. Maybe you don't have to have the top keeper, but you want someone who's putting in a decent shift and a reasonably solid defense. But midfield's where you make the big money, right?
Well, yeah, defense is
yeah.
Goal scoring, clean sheet keeping midfielders. Yeah. No Chelsea or Arsenal game this weekend. Obviously, either. No Chelsea game in midweek either. But you'd know all about that, Fraser. You want to tell us why Chelsea aren't playing?
I have no idea. No.
They are in the Club World Cup final tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Why is that then? What does that
because
mean?
they won the Champions League. So because it's the Champions League, they go straight into the semi-final of the World Club Cup, and every other federation championship winner, like the South American Championship and the North American Championships, they all go into like playoffs, basically. I think the South Americans only have one extra game because they're basically the two strongest club confederations in the world. But like if you're in like Oceania or whatever, you have to play like 3 games to get to the final. But you don't tend to play 3 games to get to the final because you're not in the final. So it's usually South America versus Europe in the final. And I believe that is the way it is again tomorrow.
I don't think we did very well in it last time, if memory serves me right. We definitely didn't win it. But
I don't know really. No one really gives a fuck about it, even
no
Chelsea fans.
Right.
But yeah, it's a weird one. Because it is
Just
like
another
you'd think
excuse.
it would be like they're the ultimate club in the world for each year supposedly. So, but yeah, it's kind of based on last season's results. So
yeah. Oh well. Good luck, Chelsea.
I'm assuming you'll be looking at your options to where you can watch it now that I've told you that's happening.
I'll be all over that, I can tell you.
Especially when they win.
They could win and I wouldn't even know. Don't even tell
well,
me.
you might do now.
Okay, well, that's Fancy League still going on, which is great. Thank you, everyone who participates. Twitch, I'm not sure. Did we get any streaming
We didn't
done
do Black
this
for
week?
Blood, did we? Did I Twitch after the show? I did a GTFO stream just to show people what it was about. No one was really watching live, but I know it's had a few views on the what do you call it, on demand, I guess, or whatever.
I think I did stream on Sunday, but I don't think anyone came in.
Yeah,
so
I was
maybe
there for Death's Door. You were playing Death's Door, weren't you? And I had
for a little bit.
little bit of chat.
We didn't stream Back for Blood. I don't know why.
No.
Fraser couldn't be asked.
Yeah, maybe I'll definitely. Maybe I'll definitely get on that this weekend.
Someone might make an album,
might.
something like that. Maybe, definitely. Sounds like a good album title.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and then Discord. There's nothing really to speak about Discord, is there? No changes, nothing happening, really.
We've had a new arrival, but yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
Snookums?
I don't think it's that, but
It is.
it is now, apparently.
Snoogans.
Yeah. Sniggins.
Actually, Snoogans is going to come and play PUBG, I hope. At
Is
some
he?
point. He did mention PUBG on the PC. So
He did.
we're friends on
Good luck getting in.
Steam now. So
A lot of people mention, but don't turn up.
oh, don't you start
How's the
me.
Back for Blood? How's the Back for Blood section going in the Discord?
Oh, it's going great guns.
Got
It's
plenty of
the- it-
members.
I watched a bit of that video.
it's-
You
it's-
posted a video in there, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. That I
It was a
watched
bit
that,
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Let's come to Back for Blood at the end.
Yeah.
Because we'll have a good chat about that. All right, so let's go on then to emails and tweets. If I just carry on with this, Cobby, friend of the show, says, "Can I ask what everybody's gamer tags are? Thought I'd add you
Oh, I
guys
meant to
on
speak about
Xbox,
this beforehand.
etc." Sorry,
I meant to speak to you about this beforehand, but yeah, that's all right.
what, whether we wanted to
Well,
say it all
yeah,
online?
exactly. Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah, he said, what is everyone's gamer tags? Thought I'd add you guys on Xbox. I think my gamer tag on Xbox is FUMU.
I think you are
FOOMOO.
correct.
Right.
Well, I'm
is
real
it?
Kahuna everywhere and anywhere, potentially. If it's a real Kahuna on OnlyFans, it's not me. But otherwise, it's probably me.
I don't even. I've
Oh,
got images now. I
Pilch
don't
Reed
want-
on everything.
What was that? Pilch Reed.
Pilch Reed, yeah.
Read with an A, as in
Yeah.
a book.
Yeah.
Not as
yeah,
in...
but I would say if you want to hook up with us, the best way is to come into the Discord. and
Yeah,
just tell
jump
us-
on the Discord, and
us
that's
what's
where
going
shit
down
gets
and-
organised, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, and then Lord, friend of the show, says, "Well, I have just started Death's Door, and so far I love it. Pilch really needs to go back to this. My question is, what food reminds you most of home?"
What are you defining as home? Like when you was growing up, home?
I guess. I don't know. I found this one a bit of an odd one when I gave it some thought because I don't really have foods that remind me of home. I've moved around and lived in, country to country 2 or 3 times. So mostly the foods that would probably remind me of home would be things that my mum would have made.
Yeah.
But then I don't really get the food that my mum made anywhere else, right? Because your mum's got her own sort of spin, or your mum or your dad will have a spin on their meal. So like something like my mum's lasagna is like one of my favorite foods ever. But I've never found anyone who makes it the same as she does. So
I guess that's a good answer then.
yeah, or her lamb hot pot.
I haven't had a lamb hot pot for fucking
Oh.
years.
Oh, come on over
Years
to my
and years.
mum's when I'm in England. Then we'll go have a lamb hot pot.
Yeah.
I've just
Hot
had a
pot
lovely
party.
pork casserole.
Pork casserole.
Pork casserole with roast potatoes. I just had. Lovely it was.
Nice.
So you're not classing that as a growing up food then? Or are you
No.
just going as home now? Because you do the cooking, do you?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, at home,
Yes.
home nowadays, I do most of the cooking. Not all of it, but most of it. So anything I cook reminds me of home, basically. But but that's usually because I'm at home when I'm doing it. But yeah, I was trying to think back of anything like really. I remember eating quite a lot of spaghetti bolognese as a child. Or what was the other thing?
Shepherd's
Oh,
pie, cottage
one thing
pie.
I don't make. I definitely had quite a
Favourite.
lot as a child. Is corned beef hash.
Oh God.
You say you did
We've had
have a
this
lot as a
I
child?
did have as a child, but I haven't made that in my life. And I haven't eaten that in fucking donkey's years. So I guess that was one that I haven't had. Which kind of takes me back a bit.
I'm hungry now.
You're always fucking hungry now.
I am always hungry now. Anymore?
So you haven't got you got pizza tonight, have you? Or you got something healthy?
No, pizza's out the
You
window.
can't eat
Anyway,
cheese and
look,
fucking pizza.
Oh yeah,
Look,
cheese.
we'll
Christ.
talk about
Pizza
we'll
with
talk
no
about-
cheese.
Don't. Who has pizza with
Bread
no
and
cheese?
tomato ketchup.
Who is the no cheese person?
Not me.
I don't like cheese, but
Yeah,
I've had this. I have strong flavours on, so I can't taste the cheese.
Oh,
Hot
okay.
and spicy shit.
Hot and spicy
I
shit.
wouldn't
Is
just
that a
eat
new one at
normal white
Domino's?
pizza.
Check out our new hot and spicy shit pizza.
Thanks, Lord, for that question. Appreciate it. Joystick J says, "What home reminds you most of food?" He follows up with another question, which says, "What game would you like to see remade from the ground up, and why is it Metal Gear Solid?"
Not Metal Gear Solid.
It's not Metal Gear Solid. Remade from the ground up.
Interestingly enough, I was caught looking today at some stuff about oh shit, I forgot. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh, is that still happening?
Mhm.
Which the first teaser trailer on that was 2008.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's a game that's stuck in development hell. But it made but somebody mentioned it was a Reddit thread or something on Beyond Good and Evil 2. I would love to see that game remade from the ground up.
I have
I
not
really
played
enjoyed
the
it.
first one, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
Well, I
it.
did. Well, to be fair, slightly. I played the first one when there was that fuss about the second one, and when I played the first one, at the time we were talking about the second one, that's a fucking old game, and doesn't play very well on my PC. So I'm like, ugh.
No.
So
Yeah, it hasn't aged that great. But at the time, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, man,
I will say,
go on.
I will say that I'd love to see a Metal Gear Solid remake, but I don't know.
Well, the first one, isn't not a joy to play these days. I've got to be honest. It wasn't a joy to play about 7 years or 8 years ago. So that is a game that would potentially have a nice update and be actually playable. But
I think to say it's not playable is a bit harsh.
it's fucking by today's standards, it's a bit of a slog.
Yeah, I give you it's a little bit of a slog, but you could definitely play it.
I wouldn't want to. Not if you'd played 5. If they had remade Metal Gear 1 and it looked like Metal Gear 5, then maybe I'd play it. But I haven't played 5 either, not properly. But there's so many games from the old Commodore 64 that I'd love to see get like a proper, complete remake in like modern tech and everything, and see if they could do some pretty cool stuff. Impossible Mission's one that I go back to. Fucking, I used to play that a shitload. I never finished it. It's got like, I think they could do something pretty special with that, to be honest, because it's got like a. The thing with that game was you had 6 hours to finish the game, so you're on a clock, and every time you fucked something up, you'd lose time. If you died, you'd lose 10 minutes. If you tried to guess one, because you basically had to collect shit to solve like a 9-letter puzzle or something. Basically, was the thing. You get a password to find it. And I've never watched it on YouTube to see what happens at the end ever, because I don't really want to. But I reckon that's a pretty cool premise for a modern game. Like, you think of something like Deathloop and like that, the mechanics that they could use. Not necessarily like the fucking jumping around and stuff, but that's got a pretty cool idea behind it. The whole getting to kill so many people at the same time, and then if you die, then you start all over again, kind of shit. But that's like a lot of old games were kind of that. When it like you get so long to do something, then you died, and then you fucking had to do it all over again. Or even if you did finish the game, you fucking just started from the beginning again. But Impossible Mission was one I reckon they could do something pretty cool.
That's fair enough.
I wouldn't mind them doing Outrun. I know it's a pretty basic driving game, but just something where you just like a constant from A to B, nothing too taxing like these games are now. Just do it from scratch and just totally up to date, almost sort of. Just have a Ferrari as they used to, or Sega Rally, something like that. Just
Oh,
keep the
Sega
same
Rally.
mechanics, but but just do it today, because they just don't do games like that anymore. It's got to be all this done with reputation, and like your Forzas and your Dirts now, it's just all about getting the crowds behind you and likes and shit. But just a bog standard V Rally, Sega Rally, something like that. That would be brutal. Well, V Rally, that's probably the one on the PlayStation. That was a bloody good game. Just something like that. Just do it from 4K, and that'd be nice. But they won't, because there's no money in it, is there?
There's like
Can't
World
get-
Rally Championship. Is that not something similar?
No, they're just fucking. They're too simmy. They're just impossible.
So an arcade racer, basically.
Yeah, but without all the bullshit in it. Just a proper nice race game.
Yeah, an outrun with modern graphics would be pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would there be enough?
They won't
there
make
for,
it now, because they've
would
got to
there be
keep
enough
chucking shit in, season passes and
If it was like a
fucking
tenner.
buying stuff, haven't they? Yeah.
But then,
Right,
did you
yeah.
not? What was that? What was that? There was an outrun like that came out. It was on Game Pass. It was like a bit
Was it
retro looking,
Outrun
but
2010 or something it was called.
no, it wasn't called Outrun, but it was basically Outrun. But
Oh,
it was
right, okay.
just all virtual.
Oh,
racing.
yeah, there was one similar, yeah. Yeah, but it was still looked like Outrun as well, though, didn't it? It wasn't
Well,
4K'd up. It was just.
I'm not being funny.
basically a
If you
copy.
played Outrun recently, because it's well old, so
Mm,
like that had no 3D graphics. It was all
no.
fucking varying sizes of sprites coming at you and all that shit. Right. But it did look
But I
pretty
say,
cool.
do that now, so that it looks like dirt. Just
Yeah.
with almost perfect looking cars would be brilliant. Yeah, so I'll go for that. What's next, Trace?
Well, I was just going to ask a question, actually. Do you think, I mean, we're sort of, because that game was an arcade game. So arcade games are obviously built to a particular, or at the time were built with a purpose in mind, right? Which was to suck quarters out of your pocket or whatever it may be. So is it sort of a possibility that you just can't see a game like that anymore because there's no reason for a console game to be built the same as an arcade game with the same sort of challenges or difficulty spikes or...
Yeah, I suppose, because if you played a game and it was only lasted 7 minutes, and you had to buy the season pass for another 7 minutes, and
Yeah.
I suppose it wouldn't work, would it?
Well, I don't know. Or
Game
is it
Pass.
possible that...
Game Pass.
Yeah, I was
There's
thinking...
tons of little games
Game
on Game
Pass
Pass.
game.
I was thinking that whether Game Pass is one of those models now which would allow people maybe to, or developers or bedroom coders or whatever, to sort of make a little bit of a comeback where they can make something that isn't necessarily a 5-hour game, but is a sort of a 1-hour challenge type of game, you know, which might take you
What
hours.
about a 12 minutes game? That takes 12 minutes.
Yeah, no thanks.
But it could almost be roguelike, couldn't it? You just get as far as you can.
Well, I
in
guess
the
they
time
kind of were, aren't
that
they?
you've got, but then you get a few little upgrades on the way. So the next time you start from the beginning, but next time you get that little bit further because your car's a little bit faster, or
Yeah.
whatever. And then next time you get, and the idea is eventually you'll do a whole 2 hours, but it would have taken you 20 attempts at it. So that's 40 hours of gameplay, really.
Yeah.
So they could do something that would last a while. I mean, I've tried Outrun not that long ago, actually, because it is on 360 back compat, but I've never got past more than about 3 stages. The same,
It's
because
too hard.
the reasons you used to put 1020p in it, and after about a quid, you think, fuck it, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, it's not in their interest to make you able to get through it.
So it is a long, it's a long process, isn't it? You just got to keep starting from the beginning. The more you play it, the better you get at it, the further you get. So they could still do it, but there wouldn't be any. It'd be a one hit, wouldn't it? You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to rake any more money off you unless they give you another track and another car or something.
But Game
Or,
Pass would be
another
perfect
road.
for that, wouldn't it? Because now suddenly with Game Pass, you have a platform where the developer can be paid for his work, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but give people a game that they not necessarily he would have raked money in if he'd put it on Steam,
Yeah.
right?
And people that put it on for half hour, play it, and they're done. And other people will spend the time and maybe not finish it, but at least get a good chunk of time out of it.
Right,
Same
and
as that
no,
little rally
and if
game, Art of Rally. You
right,
have to
but
keep
if that
playing it.
yeah, and if they don't like it, they don't get annoyed because it's Game Pass, right? So they haven't
Yeah.
lost
Yeah, don't
anything.
know. Yeah,
Because there was
play
the
it for 10
story,
minutes, spin it.
because interesting, there was a story a few months ago of the guy who released a game which you could complete in under 2 hours, and he got screwed over because everyone was buying it on Steam. That Steam's refund policy is if you play it over 2 hours, you can't refund it. So everybody was buying it, finishing it, and refunding it. So he wasn't making any money.
Not everybody, I would
Mm.
imagine, but
Not
because
not
not
everyone. Oh
everyone's a
yeah.
piece of shit. But yeah,
Well, this is true. Yeah, true. But Game Pass would be perfect for that, right? To avoid that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's interesting.
Mm.
Okay. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Good to hear you guys back on the airwaves this week. If you haven't checked out Joystick Jay's podcast, it is called Joysticks and Chill. And if Nezzy's listening, we missed you this week, Nezzy. Come back soon. Chinny, friend of the show, another podcaster from the Veteran Gamers, he says, is Metal Gear Solid overhyped? We all know the answer is yes, but why? Benny.
I hated it.
Really?
I watched. Yes, I did. I watched 3 hours of cutscenes and then got into the open world and got bored after 10 minutes.
Which one are you
trying to
talking
sneak
about?
round.
5.
I played. Yeah, it must have been the last one. Or was
But
it
no,
Phantom? Was it the Menace or whatever?
Yeah,
What
Phantom
the hell's
Menace.
that one called?
No, that's
Phantom
a fucking
Pain.
Star Wars. Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you didn't play any Metal Gear Solids before that?
No, never played any.
I've tried to play the first one on my Vita, and I didn't get very far because when I played it, it was an old game, and I'd had nicer games by then. But I've got a theory that actually most games on the PlayStation were actually a bit shit, and Metal Gear Solid was a lot better than most of the shit that was on the PlayStation.
I can remember Metal Gear Solid coming out vividly. I remember talking to, I think it was Matt, friend, my cousin, and I remember him telling me that he got hold of a copy of it and was telling me about the fact that you could hide in the cardboard box. I was like, what? That sounds amazing. That sounds brilliant. And then I played it, and it just introduced so many neat things. Like you're right, Neil, you're right. There are tons of things on the PlayStation, which even at the time, like you were playing these games and going, this game isn't that great. Like I remember playing things like Siphon Filter or whatever, and everyone's like, Siphon Filter is a really great game. I was like, is it? I mean,
I've not played it, so I'm not commenting on that.
It felt janky at the time. You would play things like Super Mario or whatever on the N64, and like it was good to control. There were good games, easy to control. Camera stuff was good. And then you'd play some stuff on the play. I mean, the first Resident Evils. I mean, they were pretty neat. Yeah, they were all right, I guess. They were doing new things too in a neat way. I think just Metal Gear Solid. Like, is Metal Gear Solid overhyped? No chance. No way is it overhyped. There are so many different elements to that game. So many classic gaming moments. But anyway, you guys know I'm a massive Metal Gear fan anyway, so.
It was definitely different. Like that's what I think is the key. It was different to everything else that came out.
There were just things like, if you had played that, right? You play through Metal Gear Solid. It starts off, it's all story driven, and he's going on the submarine or whatever, and you start with a tiny little bit of stealth, and then you go up and it introduces the game. It's almost cinematic, because Kojima's like that, big with his cinematics. But then you get up to the next bit, and then he goes about the Hind D, sees the helicopter, and the helicopter takes off, and your joypad starts rumbling. Like, there were no other games doing that, like using a cutscene to Rumble and create that. And he just did so many things with that console that were just insane in that game. Overhyped? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope, I won't hear of it.
Yeah, not probably the right person to ask.
No, and I do is Metal Gear in general overhyped?
You played all of them, yeah?
I've played all of them from Metal Gear Solid, yeah, onwards.
What was the PS3 one? PS3 was 4, was it?
PS3 was Metal Gear Solid 4, yeah.
And that was the one with it was literally like a 90-minute cutscene in it, wasn't it? Or something stupid.
Oh, mate, it's insane. But again, there's some just absolute classic gaming moments in there, which were done so well.
I was too busy playing Splinter Cell when you were playing Metal Gear.
Yeah. So no, not overhyped. We are. Chinny says we all know the answer is yes. The answer is not yes. Not yes.
I've not played it really. Like I said, the only one I haven't played much of 5. I didn't. What was the thing that came out just before 5? The fucking
4?
No, not 4. You know what I mean? The little game.
Oh, Ground Zero.
Yeah, so I played a bit of that, and I was a bit.
I tried that.
Kept fucking getting spotted, and it was shit. So I was like, "This is annoying." But yeah, fucking 1. And I wanted to play them in order, but like 1 is so fucking old, man. It's just old as fuck, and it looks properly
I'd rather
old.
go for the Tomb Raiders and that again, rather than that.
Not the original ones. You wouldn't want to play the original ones now.
I don't know.
No, you fucking wouldn't. Trust me.
See,
it's so fucking old.
Well, of course.
You imagine trying to fucking shoot that T-Rex these days? Fuck that. You'd be dead every time.
I think it's fair enough that we can say, look, you know what, hardware from 25 years, games from 25 years ago haven't aged that well. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, some games have like older than that have aged better. Like that PlayStation era.
Yeah, but most of them.
The 3D, the original 3D era, everything looks a bit shit nowadays because we're still in the 3D time. Whereas you go back a bit further and everything was 2D, we still get games coming out now that look 2D, and they look like modern ones look obviously loads better, like fucking Cuphead or whatever. You look at that, fucking insane. I've not played it, not my type of thing, but it looks incredible. But it's basically a 2D fucking side-scrolling shoot 'em up or whatever, which we were playing in 1980.
I don't think Cuphead's a very good example because Cuphead is. There's a lot of work they put into Cuphead for the animations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I say, it looks insane, but and now 3D looks insane now. But you can still get like Children of Morta. Say that's a proper pixel art looking game, and it came out 3 years ago or whatever, 4 years ago. It's a great game, and loads of other 2D games that come out now still look old but play. They don't. I mean, they wouldn't have come out 30 years ago because he wouldn't have handled it. But like, just Super Mario, they're still like I could quite happily play Super Mario World on the SNES, and it would still play great. But if I played anything from the PlayStation 1 now, I'd be like, fuck me, this is not that good. Or the Xbox One, original
Pandemonium. Xbox. Play Pandemonium. That's a good game.
What's Pandemonium?
Don't remember that, do you?
Sounds like a Prodigy song or something.
No, it's a PlayStation game.
The name rings a bell. I can't remember why.
It used to be like a jester. It's like a platformy.
What, 2D?
3D-ish.
Oh, 3D.
3D, yeah, because it's moved around as you was going around the platforms. That was
you
quite
didn't
a good
play
game.
a panda.
That was cool.
Pandemonium.
It weren't Pandemonium, no. There was some good games on. I don't.
There was some good games
on,
but I think, like I say, most of them you go back and play it now, and be like, this is a bit rough.
Have you tried Destruction Derby?
That would be fucking dire.
It's
Honestly,
hideous.
that was
There was
I
not.
got well fucking bored of it back in the day. It was like everyone was going mental about it at the time. All the magazines raving about it, and I was like, we played it a lot, and it was like, yeah, it's decent, but pretty soon afterwards, it was like, it's just a bit fucking boring, isn't it?
I will say, I got the SNES Mini and the PlayStation 1 Mini. I played my SNES Mini for hours and hours and hours, and I turned on PlayStation, looked at every game, and within an hour, I'd put it back in the box and sold it.
I don't even know what was on
And
it.
that was the top. That was the best 20 games apparently on.
I don't think they were the best 20 games. That was the problem
On
with the PlayStation Mini.
Yeah,
No,
well,
there were
that's it.
there were a lot of people who were saying that they really screwed that release. They did not put the best.
Did it have
selection of
Wipeout on
games
it?
Yes.
No. Did
and
it?
Destruction Derby. Yeah. I think it had two versions of Wipeout on it.
PS. I think 2097 was PS2, wasn't it? But yeah, that was pretty. Like Wipeout was fucking
I
special.
think it had a
back in
Japanese
the day.
version.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, let's be
Wipeout
fair.
was
Come on,
good.
Wipeout was good, and but what the PlayStation was doing brilliant with something like Wipeout was it was giving you that CD quality audio or whatever, which we hadn't seen before that. So it had that going for it. Yeah, and you know what, the whole console.
Ridge Racer was that was the launch title. That was a good
Ridge
game.
Racer.
Mate, I tell you, after playing N64 and then fucking plugging that in and firing it up and putting Ridge Racer in on a 32-inch
massive telly, bigger than your OLED.
That was you'd win fucking next gen. There's no doubt.
I didn't like a Ridge Racer.
Especially the music. That's the main thing. It was CD music, proper music, not bloody computer generated shit, was it? It was actual proper music.
Yeah,
and that was
you know
the
what?
biggest difference.
And I loved Gran Turismo. I played the shit out of Gran Turismo.
I loved that.
Final Fantasy VII was fantastic. So you know what, you can sort of like you got to give it some juice.
There was it's a bit like the Wii. There was some absolute killer games, and there was a ton of shit.
And none of those games were on the
no
the PlayStation Mini, by the way.
No. And was that hackable?
I
can't even remember.
I think.
Yeah,
I
think you're
didn't
right.
hack that, but I did. My SNES was hacked. I had 800 games on that.
Yeah, Baron Vogler said about Silent Hill. Yeah, I guess I forgot that, but and you say Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But I reckon if you play Silent Hill now, it'd be like rough.
Yeah, but like all of them are going to be rough. Like Gran Turismo is rough. Final Fantasy VII's rough. But yeah, that was the cut. It was almost like a reset, wasn't it, with the 3D? That's the thing. It was just like, here you go. This is the new hotness. But yeah, this is where it begins. And they did well with what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like that's never going to be quite as like warmly remembered as like the old 2D stuff. I don't think. Maybe it's just because I'm older.
Maybe. Okay. Thanks very much for the questions, everyone. Appreciate it. Let's get on to then what have we been doing? The most exciting part of this show.
Well, it's not been exciting this week.
It does not look very exciting this week at all.
Well, to be fair, a little bit of excitement in the house, I could say. A bit more than a little bit. My daughter was 16 yesterday.
Oh, happy
so that's
birthday.
Quite exciting. So that's a big one for her and me. And I'm thinking, fuck, 16, what? Where did that time go? But yeah, so my son was 13 today.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of.
So by deduction, we know when your birthday is.
No, it's not my birthday.
No, 9 months.
No, we've had this awkward conversation earlier in front of my kids.
It never gets old.
Apparently, it was Maybank holiday, according to my wife. Don't know what's special about that. I don't remember that.
Funny that
You
you
don't
should.
remember the last time you done it?
So yeah, they've had a couple of big sort of well, particularly big one for my daughter. I guess 16 feels quite big, and she got quite a big present this time round. She has been going on about iPhones for fucking years.
Oh my god! Join the club.
Oh, that's why you was on iTunes.
We
Okay.
bought an
Makes sense
iPhone
now.
for my daughter. She got a 12 mini. So it was not crazy money, but it was, it's quite a nice little thing. I was a bit surprised how small it was. I didn't really expect it to be quite as small as that. But
The clue's in the name.
yeah, but like say a lot of things say mini, and they're not actually that fucking mini these days. Like an actual mini car is not very mini these days. In fact, it's the opposite of fucking mini. It's massive. But yeah, so I've had a bit of a ball ache with that because she signed into her iCloud account that we've had since 2014. So because we were in a family group and we have been since 2014. So it's like every time she wants to download an app, it wants to ask me permission. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Even though she's 16, I was like, when does this not automatically change at some point? So I was like, she'd already signed in already. So I was like, I was looking for the iPods, couldn't find the fucking iPods anywhere. Found the iPad, plugged in the iPad, obviously got no battery. So it took about fucking 3 hours to get to 6%. No shit. Not even fucking exaggerating. Before it would actually turn on. And so in the meantime, I was like, best guess I'm downloading fucking iTunes, looking up. Because by the time it had turned on, I was putting in the codes. No, not that code. Oh, fucking hell. Put that code in. No, not that code. And you get to now you're waiting 59 minutes before you can put another code in. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Best install iTunes because I'm going to have to reset the iPad. And then I remembered the 6-digit code, literally like a day later. Put that in. And it says, we just need to connect. I don't know what it says. We're just trying to activate your iPad. And it spins around and round and round and round and round and round.
Yeah.
And then says, no, the servers are offline. You can't activate. It's like, for fuck. It's like, I think the iPad's just so fucking old that it doesn't work anymore, basically. You can't even fucking use it. Can't even turn it on. So I was like, anyway. So it got to 100% battery today. After about 15 hours of charge. But yes, fucking basically a digital brick. Doesn't fucking do anything. Can't use it. So that's got to go somewhere. Obviously not worth any money. But in the end, what I had to do is log her out of her iPhone, log me into the iPhone, and fucking remove the bullshit family permissions for her so that she could actually download apps and all that crap. Bit of a faff, but she's now probably downloaded an absolute ton of bullshit apps on her phone. The only thing is, I was like, she's got access to my credit card on there. I was like, if you fucking charge my credit card for any apps on that phone, I'm going to fucking murder you. So hopefully we will be staying charge free on that credit card. But yeah, she fucking nearly absolutely actually cried when she got her iPhone. So it was quite good, but cried in a good way. But yeah, so it's been a big week on the birthdays. My son's had fuck all because he just doesn't say what he wants. So he's had 25 quid's worth of fucking Xbox credit so far. And a dressing gown. But I think we're going to buy him some new football boots. Because
we bought your sister an iPhone. There's nothing for you.
Yeah. But he's got an alright phone anyway. So he's got a Pixel 4a. But
oh, that's nice. Well, you don't get anything for your birthday because you've already got an iPhone.
No, we're going to get him some football boots. But he's been like, every time, for literally about a month, it's like, what do you want for your birthday? And it's just been like, shrug. Don't know. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So basically, you've ended up with nothing. But there's been a load of new football boots out. And so probably get him some new football boots because his feet are fucking hoofingly huge.
Oh, yeah.
And that's his thing. So. And then otherwise, I ain't played many games this week because I've been fucking decorating all week.
Oh.
My hands are fucking hurting. I am fucking crippled basically today because today's been a big fucking day because I've been putting down the flooring. So it's a bit of a project that's been going on for weeks. Filling fucking holes in walls, waiting for them to dry, sand it down, trying to get the walls in some sort of fucking order because they look shit beforehand. And I painted this week because I was like, I've done enough. I can't be fucking filling anymore. And while I'm painting, I'm like, oh, there's a big fucking like that could have done with some filling. That could have done with some filling. That could have done with some filling. But fuck it, it looks alright. Looks okay. It looks more than alright. It looked fucking horrible before, but now it looks alright. And then today, putting down the flooring. I had an experience with my stick down vinyl floor tiles, which I used in my back room before. And this one, I went for the clicks. And I've been doing a lot of swearing today because they don't like to click. Well, they didn't like to click until I kind of sussed out
You
how
swearing?
to fucking...
I can't
Yes,
believe it.
I know it's hard to believe, but there was a lots of C words because it was fucking irritating.
What, click?
Yeah.
Click, click.
Yeah, you won't fucking click, you C-bomb. So, yeah. But I finally managed to... I kind of sussed it, I guess, after about the first 4 rows of fucking being an absolute pain in the arse. But, yeah. Well, it was going... Like, once I got into a groove, a tongue and groove, it was okay. And then the last bit, fucking hell, that was hard work. Because, you know... It's quite. You start in one corner and you work along the wall, and then you work blah 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 blah. But obviously, it gets to a point where you're literally like, now I'm at the other end of the wall, next to a wall, and I've got you got to push them in. Oh, it's just fucking. That was just like that took ages. The last run, and my hands fucking hurt because of that. But I've never done laminates. No, she's been working. Oh yeah, she come up. She's like, "Do you want me to help?" I was like. No.
Oh, they're all good. They're good at helping. Yeah.
No, I don't want your help because otherwise we're going to be rowing. So yeah, that was my day today, and that's why I was a bit late on the tweets and everything. But I've got to get some skirting board, and then I've got to build a fucking ton of furniture and hang some cupboards on walls and shit, and then it'll be done. But
nice.
Fucking hell, it's been hard work.
So have you got next week off as well?
I'm off next week as well, yeah.
Nice.
Skirting boards next. Oof.
Sounds great.
Oof.
I would like to do my flooring this year. So maybe I have to come and have a chat with you.
Well,
on how not to do it.
It wasn't too bad once I got going. I kind of sussed it, but yeah, that last run is an absolute bitch. I've never done laminates before, but I'm assuming it's similar because that's kind of... In fact, if laminates is probably a bit easier because they're a bit thicker and a bit bigger, so they probably click a bit more when you click them in. But right. Yeah, getting that last run in right next to the wall, oof, bastard.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Shall I go next? We'll just go in order on the show notes. Makes us sound so professional. I'm still starving to death. There's nothing else to report there. I've not had cheese now for close to 2 weeks. I think I've lost weight, which sounds bonkers for me. I don't think I've ever really lost weight before in my life, but I think I actually have lost a little bit of weight. And I'm just always hungry. It's pissing me off, really. I don't know what...
You need to eat more protein. Protein-rich foods.
Chicken, fish,
nuts.
Yeah, no. I think what it is that
chickpeas, tofu.
My wife is no, it's not going to happen. My wife is actually doing sterling work. She's making some great meals, so it's good. I'm eating well, but I'm not snacking, and so my body is just getting to grips with the fact that every time I used to snack, I'm not doing that anymore. So my body's telling me, hang on a second, I'm hungry. Why are we not eating? And I'm just basically, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna give in to your demands, talking to myself in the corner.
Have a glass of water.
Yeah, or just ignoring it, right? Trying to just ignore it and look, you're not, let's just say that you're not starving, okay? You're fine. You're going to make it through. But I suppose the biggest challenge is just trying to find substitutes, right? So like you saw, it's eating a banana, which is nice. Bananas are good. They're our newfound friend. Um,
Where'd you get your bananas from? Where do they come from? Do they only
I've
come
no idea.
from the Caribbean or whatever?
I have no idea. There's no sticker on this peel next to me, so I couldn't tell you.
Saskatchewan got fucking rows and rows of trees up there growing them bananas.
That's right, big banana country.
I guess they don't have to. Do you get like? I'm just more curious because I guess your bananas don't have to come as far as ours do.
You know what? Honestly, Neil, I think when you're talking about a massive ship with tons of bananas on it, I don't think we're. I don't.
I don't know. It's just like air freight. Because like, do they ship bananas? Because they must be well unripe if they're shipping them around.
Yeah, but they pick them when they're totally unripe.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
So
all
what's it like
timing.
to have an actual like to eat a ripe banana where they're grown? What's that like? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea.
I bet it's amazing, isn't it?
Could be.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I think we needed somebody who's a fruit expert on this to come and tell us about all this because it'd be interesting to find out. But I think there's all sorts of really odd things involved, like the way you store them with humidity and temperature, and
They
then
fucking hum. I
also-
can tell you that. When you open a box of bananas, they fucking stink. It's gross.
You guys are gonna know more about bananas than about the banana.
They're really
chain.
wet when you open the box, and they fucking stink.
Yeah.
And once they're out and on the shelf, they're fine. But they absolutely hum when you open the box. It's fucking gross. And occasionally you get a nice big spider in there. Oh, Fraser's gone again.
Oh, he's gone. He's because he's starving. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, I've lost you again.
Has he messed up our recording again now?
No, it'll be all right. And I'll tell you what, let me just give a shout out to Chinny, who said last week that work laptops are shit. I'm now firmly in that camp. I am so sick and tired of having to use a laptop up here. It just can't handle anything. It's crappy. But my question for you regarding the bananas was, in the box, are they wrapped in a plastic bag in the box?
They come in. There's a big cardboard box, and then they're all in a big plastic bag that covers all of them, and then there's like a separating thin card between the layers.
Because it wouldn't surprise me if they probably pump a gas into that plastic bag.
Yeah, maybe.
To slow down the ripening process or something, right?
Oh, it could be.
Because I think they do that with kiwi fruits, and that kiwi fruits can be kept for ages if you keep them in.
We don't have weird things with kiwi fruits in Tesco's when they come in. They're just in a tray, a green tray, green plastic tray, all loose or whatever. They're fine. But bananas, most people can't handle the smell because they're fucking it's like that stinks. But,
well, if anyone knows more about the global banana,
Baron from Glauner seems to know where they come from. So,
if only someone had some insight who might have worked for 3 days in a banana factory.
Factory? Do they build bananas?
Geest. I did 3 days in Geest distribution warehouse. It's now called Fair Trade, I believe, but it's just down the road here from where I live.
They distributed bananas.
Yeah.
So you have actual first-hand experience of the banana distribution chain. Why?
Yeah. Well, I just you surmise.
Oh man, come on, tell us all then. Open our eyes.
Well, I had to size the bananas.
Right. I don't know how you did this.
They all come down the conveyor belt, and you had to any that were in bunches of 5. You put in one section over to one side, and if there was loose ones, they all went in a box. And 2s and 3s could go in a bag together. Oh, it's riveting stuff. I did 3 days.
Was that like temp work when you were younger?
Yeah, in between stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it was just around the corner. It was handy. The money was good actually, but I couldn't last more than 3 days.
That was the
There's money
smell.
and bananas.
No. The smell was all right. Wasn't because they were already
Were they
weren't
proper like?
packaged.
Were they
We
even
were
green by the time you would have got them, or like were they
oh fuck
a
me
weird
green, yeah,
colour?
rocks. They were rock hard. We were
Mm.
putting them in the boxes that then went off to Tesco's and wherever.
Yeah,
So, but I didn't get as far as the boxes. I was further up the line.
not that
They were
special.
just coming loose, just like a lorry turned up with and just tipped them straight in.
Were you
And then
picking
they
the
all,
bananas? Were you picking the bananas off the line, dreaming one day about being on the boxes later, working your way up to the boxes?
yeah. I think I give up when I think I cut my finger and I had to fill in loads of paperwork and I had to prove. And when I finished my shift, because I put a blue plaster on my finger, when I finished my shift, I had to go back to the first aid to show that I still had the plaster, so that to
So it
prove it
wasn't
hadn't fallen off
inside a banana or
on the
something.
production line. And I thought, oh fuck it, I've had enough of this.
So you hadn't lost. Imagine if like, has anyone got big enough fingers to be mistaken for a banana if it got cut off?
I wouldn't have thought so. No. So anyway, so there you go. There's a little insight to Pilch's 50 years of existence.
Nice.
Are we getting
yeah.
the camera back on, Fraser? Because it's really off-putting.
Oh, have I no camera? Sorry.
No, you're
Okay,
not on the
hang a
camera.
second. Camera.
There we go. Here he comes.
Okay.
Here it
Well, that's
comes.
that. Yeah. So anyway, so that's all. That's all. I haven't really got anything. I can't think of anything that's really happened of any interest for me this week. So, Pilch, what have you got?
I haven't done anything out of the ordinary. I've got to be honest. I've watched a lot of Olympics.
You watched us doing shit at curling, is that what I assume?
Yeah, we weren't great in the mixed curling. I watched loads of hockey, loads of curling. The snowboarding, I watched the snowboarding the other day.
Sean
That
White,
was
wasn't it,
fucking
today?
brilliant.
He's retired.
Yep. Yeah, fell on his ass, but you can give him that. He's won about 15 fucking world championships, so that was good. Saturday morning, I watched the biathlon, which was like 3 hours of just skiing and shooting, but it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Brilliant it was. Apparently it was the closest it's ever been. That's why it was interesting, but yeah, really good.
Oh,
It's
as an
weird because
aside, I actually went. I took my wife went cross country skiing on Sunday.
You were
we went
talking
out.
about that last week, weren't you?
Yeah, we went walking, and it was with the dogs on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, my wife said I want to come back and go on the skis, so she cross country skied while me and the pooch followed behind, and yeah, it was neat.
Who was going
Good.
quicker?
Depended where we were. If we were if there was any sort
If
of
it was the big downhill bit, I'm assuming she was racing along.
this on the straights and down. Well, actually, on the downhills, yeah, she was a little bit maybe quicker. On the straights, she was probably a little bit quicker.
It looks
but
like a
uphill.
lot of effort cross country skiing. I was like, you might as well be
She
fucking
was
walking.
she was really hurting at the end of it. It was a full body. It's a full body workout. It's really she did well. It's good going.
Yeah, it's a shame when you can't just go downhill everywhere. It'd be like, yeah, that'd be great. And there was a big lift at the end to take you back to the top.
I remember when I was a kid, my parents bought us skis, and we were like, "What are these?" And they were like, "They're cross country skis." And I was like, well, "I don't quite see the fun in this."
This sounds like I'm going to be fucking laid up in
Yeah.
bed for about 3 days after.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, Nordic skiing's even worse because you have to stay in the tram lines. You can't even veer off and go your own way.
Oh yeah.
That's worse. Well, it's good fun though. But yeah. So I watched a lot of that. I've made a purchase today. I have bought some Apple AirPod Pros.
All right, Mr. Flush.
Well, the missus has gone back to work 3 days a week. Or no, she's always been working. She's gone back up to London 3 days a week. And her iPad died over the last 2 years while she hasn't been going up to London. So she's now using her phone to listen to podcasts and shit instead of her iPad. And she has got she's got an SE, a 2020 SE, and it hasn't got any 3.5 jack. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. So she got on the train and realised she couldn't listen to her radio to her music because her headphones didn't fit in the phone.
Radio?
Radio, yeah.
Frequency modulation.
A wireless.
So my AirPods are 2 years old, and when I'm gardening, I have them in all the time, and they used to last a 6 hour day, but now they don't last
A
6 full
6 hour
hours.
day?
That's a long day, isn't it?
6 hours doesn't sound like a day.
That's all I do. Well, when I'm gardening, anyway. So I knew that they brought out some. I've got the version 2s, and I knew that they'd recently brought out some version 3s. So I thought, I'll have a little look to see how much they are, and perhaps I'll get myself some
£159 at Argos because I was looking earlier.
Correct Mundo. So I thought, okay, I don't want to get 2s again because I've had 2 sets of them. So I'll get the 3s for 160 quid. I'll just have a little look round to see if I can get them any cheaper. I looked on Tesco's on their on
Colleague
our
rewards.
benefits and thingamajig. Yeah, and colleague rewards, and you get 10% off of Apple. So I thought, okay, that'll drop it down another 13, 15 quid. So I clicked on the link, and when I got there, you can have some pros for £240. They're only £180.
Only.
I thought, okay, well, it's cheaper than 240, and so it's only like 15, 20 quid more than the threes, and they're not much different except for the threes. The pros have got noise cancellation and a couple of other things.
That is pretty cool.
And I thought,
I haven't got the pros, but my Sony's
just
have got
buy
noise
them.
cancellation. They're pretty cool.
So they're coming tomorrow. So someone's got to stay in all day tomorrow to receive and sign for these bloody AirPods. But so I'm looking forward to something new to stick in my ears. I don't know how well this noise cancelling works, because when I'm lawn mowing, cutting the grass or strimming or something, I have me ear defenders on. So the question is, if I put the noise cancelling on, would I not then have to wear defenders?
No,
Is
you're
that going
still
to cancel
unless it
out
completely
the noise
seals
from the
your ear.
lawnmower?
Does it seal your
Well,
ear
that's the other thing,
canal?
'cause they've got little rubber things that go right
Yeah,
in
maybe.
your ear canal.
Like my Sony ones work pretty well. If I have the noise cancelling on, I shove them properly right in. Like my wife would be like, yeah, and I can see her mouth moving. I literally can't hear a fucking word she's saying. I can't hear anything. I'm like, I can't hear you. But she's like, are you just saying that? I'm like, literally, no, I can't hear you, because it's that good at like, but voices like literally like right next to a lawnmower, I'd probably still be able to hear the lawnmower. It just wouldn't be as loud.
So it's a lot of money, but I wear them all the time. I've got them in my ears, like I say, 6 hours, 7 hours at a time. Well, because I need to listen to something and I want me to answer my phone without getting it out of my pocket, when I've got filthy, dirty hands or whatever. So for me, that's because I got through so many wired ones. They get caught in things, get covered in mud, get wet, do me zip up, get them caught. I was buying a new set of wired headphones like every couple of months because they were just knackered. So I was buying the cheapest shitty things I could find. But them AirPods lasted me 2 years, and they're still almost as good as they were. Just the battery don't quite last. They last about 4 hours instead of 6.
Mm-hmm.
But for what they are, if you've got loads of Apple stuff, they're bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn the laptop on, they connect to the laptop. As soon as you turn your phone on, they connect to your phone.
Yeah, my
Just
daughter was like
iPad.
asking for AirPods. She was looking at the second generation ones, and I was like, "It's like you do
They're
know there's newer
£110
ones."
now.
Yeah, it's like they're £109 at Argos for the second gens.
Yeah.
I'm like, I said, "There's newer ones." She was like, "Are there?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh no, I don't want." She's like, "I don't want pros." I was like, "No, they're not pros. There's newer ones." She looked at him. She's like, "No, I don't want them. I want the older ones." I was like, they're 50 quid cheaper at the end of the day, so she's paying for them.
We've all got them. So kids, I thought the kids would lose them, but they've had theirs for 2 years and never lost one.
They do seem to sit nice in people's ears. Those AirPods.
Yeah.
See a lot of people with them, and they don't seem to be fiddling with my Sony ones. I have to fiddle with regularly. They're quite big, like they stick out a bit. Whereas the pods obviously are like a sort of stick in it.
Yeah.
So, I like my Sonys, but yeah, they definitely don't seem as convenient as the AirPods. But obviously, they can't copy them.
No.
Well, it looks like other people have.
Yeah, well, the Chinese copy them, don't they?
There's JBL ones that look almost not that they don't look almost the same. They look different, but they're on that similar design where they're like a stick that goes in your ear.
So I would assume the Beats ones are more like the Sony ones because they're not a sticky one either. They're sort of
Beats is owned by Apple, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they are, but they don't make the same. They're nothing like. They don't look anything like them. They look more like.
I've got to pay Dr. Dre a tenner every time they sell a pair.
Yeah. So that's a purchase anyway. Then Lisa sent me a text earlier saying, "Oh, I've just had a text and I can get a free upgrade on my phone." So
there's a new SE coming supposedly. I've been looking into this because I was a bit like, oh, shall we just give her the money or buy her the phone? Because I was looking into it and there's a new SE due in March supposedly, and I'm like, well, that could be better than the
for
12
the price. The SE is actually, it's got everything that's in an 11, but just in a smaller thing. So it for the 300 odd 50 quid or what it is.
390 quid they were. I don't know what they are.
See, that's not bad for what it still does. It does pretty much everything that the latest.
I think my mate's got.
Do.
I think he's got on the original SE still.
Oh god, yeah, they're old. They're like 8s and 9s.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the last 11, 12, and 13 haven't really changed much at all. They've just got better cameras on them.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with Apple phones, isn't it? Is the cameras. I don't think anything rivals them really. Well, they probably are, but you're fucking looking like crazy money on there.
Yeah, but anyway, that's enough Apple talk.
Well, I've been looking at iPhones.
Done. Oh, have you?
You haven't had an iPhone before, have you?
I've never. Well, no, I've not had a phone, but I've had iPods.
I've had an iPhone since the 4. I've never changed it. I've had every single one since the 4. Not had anything since.
The thing is, I only paid like 250 quid for my Samsung last time, so.
Yeah.
And I don't really do a lot on there. I don't take loads of pictures. I literally just go on Twitter and I look at bullshit on YouTube or whatever.
Here comes the tea, chaps.
Beans on toast.
Is it?
Is it wholemeal bread?
Toast.
It's not beans on toast. It's turkey pie, chips and beans.
Chips?
I know.
Not deep fried, I hope.
No, oven baked.
Low fat ones.
I doubt it.
Is it homemade turkey pie?
Oh, they're skinny fries as well. There must be. That's not good. You can't have skinny fries. Yeah. They're bad for you.
I know. I think I took pity on my wife. Looked at me with these sort of sad eyes tonight. It's just like I just don't really want.
You can't play games later, so I'm going to give you some chips.
No, I didn't have the sad eyes. No, my wife had the sad eyes. She didn't really want to put together something, a decent.
She's fed up of making.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night.
What it is. It's been a week. She's been making these special meals for a week, and now she's had enough, and she's gone. Just fucking have what we're having.
Yeah. Well, it was even worse because she went out and had a massive lunch, so she didn't want anything for dinner anyway. So she's done a solid for us tonight. She's a keeper. Okay, what else we got?
We had sausages tonight. Are you allowed sausages anymore?
I am not allowed sausages
Oh,
anymore.
Jesus. You
Jesus
love the sausage as well.
Christ.
What about your burgers?
Special occasion, probably.
You're allowed them without the bun, something.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, wrap it in lettuce.
You can have a venison burger. That's nice. They're quite low in fat. That'd be
What
nice
about
for
you can make it out of turkey mince?
Look, oh my God, no. Look, I don't want to keep talking about this every week,
No,
but
that's
the point is, it's just like
we do. We're enjoying it.
All right. I'm going out for pizza tomorrow.
I've got to make a pizza.
Whoa.
Pizza and wings tomorrow.
Oh, is this your rearranged date?
Yeah, this was the one we were supposed to have last week. So
Enjoy.
But it's a couple's date, so my wife is coming too.
I'll try and
anyway, what else?
It's a threesome then. You, your mate, and your wife. Who else is
His
going?
wife.
Okay, right.
All right, what else we got? Come on. Pilch.
That's it. What we're
No, it's
playing.
not.
What
You
about
didn't
your
even talk
chair?
about
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
come on.
All right.
Well, it's not, sorry, not your chair.
Okay. I'm sitting very uncomfortably in this multi-movable, four-handled chair because I
Four-handled.
got told off. It's got four
Don't
levers.
touch it.
Yeah, I'm not touching. Have you not noticed? I have not once looked down to adjust this chair. I got told off by the good lady wife for adjusting her chair again. There were some F's in the text. So I've either got to get another chair and just push her chair out of the way and move my chair.
That's what I would read between the lines there and say, feel free to buy your own lovely chair that you can adjust to your heart's content. Here's the money.
Well, I'm thinking about getting a nice little armchair and sitting it in the corner, and I'll just sit on that.
Getting a pipe and a smoking jacket too.
So I'm not allowed to move this pissing chair, and it's not very comfortable because she's not the tallest of ladies, and I'm sitting bolt upright. So
Good for your posture.
Don't worry about my back.
No, think about
this
is going to improve your posture. Surely.
You think so?
If you're sitting more upright, yeah.
Doing you a favour.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on then to what we've been playing. I think that we should have Pilch go first this week. Skipping the first thing on your list, and then we'll all cover that towards the end. So,
well, that just stays there now. That's been sitting there for weeks. Right. I'm still on the Resident Evil grind. I did try. I still haven't finished 5 yet because I was waiting for my mate to come and help me out, but he didn't materialise.
Oh no! I've been around. I texted you. You said, "Come on, let's get together." And I said, "We'll get together on Saturday lunchtime," and I was there.
Yeah.
And I know you did. You did classic Pilch. You didn't answer the WhatsApp message. You didn't read it, so that I know your games. I would do the same.
I've been doing a lot of that this week.
Just ignoring, not reading it.
Text messages.
That's fair enough.
With short-staffed at the old Tesco's. Been doing a lot of not reading people's texts, begging me to come in again. Right. Okay.
But put that on the back burner, though. We would still go in and do it.
Yeah. I've still got it installed. Don't worry. I'm looking forward to playing it. So I went back to 4 for about 15 minutes and realised it still was not. It's too old, mate. Fraser, if you played 4 now, I think it would be very. It's just too. I've
been hearing people absolutely raving about the VR version of it, though. Like it's saying it's like a whole new game.
Recently, you played 4.
I played 4 last year. I think I went through it again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you now, 6 is way, way, way better. It's just that
Is it?
more.
This
it's
is the
just
one
more
everyone said
modern.
was really
Like,
shit, isn't it?
okay, it's not the best story, but I'm enjoying playing the game. I'm enjoying the shooting, the whole. It's so much better to play.
Can
When
you
you can
move
walk
and
and
shoot?
shoot, yes, you fucking can.
Woo!
I'm really enjoying it. From what I can gather, it's a bit like what's the Halo one?
Oh.
ODST, whatever
right.
it's called. Yeah, there's 4 different stories. You have to play each character's story. So at the moment, I'm playing Leon, and I've nearly finished it. I've just got to kill the final boss, and then I've done his story. It's took me probably 3 hours odd. It's co-op again. You've got someone with you, exactly like you have in 5. And someone could jump in and play with you.
You mean it's not co-op?
I'm playing it on my own, but I've got a partner with me all the time. There's a lot of I'll pull this lever, you run around there and pull the other lever sort of type.
Do you have to
Or
run around and do both?
Or no, it does it for you. The other character does it, but so I don't know what the fuck she's doing sometimes, because she goes, I give her a little leg up and off she goes, and I'm standing at the gate waiting for her to pull a lever somewhere else, and it's literally 5 minutes. I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing, love? Because I saw you go up there. The lever's just over here. Where the fuck are you? So there's a little bit of that. I think it's more to there are zombies on the way, so she's then got to kill them zombies. Whereas if I decided I was the one going to go that way, I would be killing the zombies to get to that lever. So I think that's why it seems to take quite a long time. But it's so much better. It looks really good. Really, it looks more like
Is this an Xbox
proper
One
game.
game or is it a 360 up-res job?
It must be Xbox One. It must be Xbox One. Probably PS. No, I don't think it can be. I don't know. I'm sure you can find out. But it's all been remastered. But it looks and plays so much better, and it's so good. I'm flipping loving it.
Oh,
I said,
2012, mate. 2012 Resident Evil 6.
That'd be 360 then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just 360.
Yeah, late.
No, that was 2008.
2013, yeah.
Yeah.
2013
So,
was for Xbox One and PS3. Wasn't it?
if you don't like the standing still shooting mechanic, this is the one to play.
If you like a good story, though, you're fucked.
I just click. I always click through the cutscenes anyway. So everyone says, "Oh, it's not got a very good story," but it don't fucking matter if the gameplay is good.
Did any of them have a really good story? Honestly,
I don't think they ever did have a really good story. No.
they're all absolute batshit bonkers.
Oh, there's one bit on it. It's fucking. Oh my god, this girl. She gets turned into a zombie, but for some reason she's completely naked. Boob physics are in action. It's ridiculous. She's got these huge tits. She's bouncing around all over the place. The old titties are jiggling around.
You have to pause
It's a
it
good
then.
game.
You had to pause it for a minute.
Well, I've played that same bit 3 times. No, I was expecting the same, but it is so much better. It's ridiculous, and I've been playing it most of today. Brilliant. So once I think as soon as this finishes, you then go on to the next character, and I don't know whether you play. I don't know whether it's all supposed, because I keep seeing I've met this girl 3 different times throughout the game. This is another one of his
Wanda?
colleagues. Huh?
Is it
Yeah,
Wanda?
like no, Dana or something. Her name is.
No, I can't remember.
No, nor can I now. But yeah, so I'm assuming because every time I go somewhere, she's in the background or she comes and helps me, or I'm assuming when I play her, I'm going to meet Leon in the same places that she met me in that bit. So, but she's obviously doing different stuff, but we keep crossing paths. But it looks phenomenal. It looks so good.
So was it had an
You can tell it.
sort of weird update type of thing?
Ada, that's her name. Ada.
Ada Wong, yeah.
It's been completely rezzed, but only for 360. It must Xbox One. It was done on Xbox One,
Right.
so it's all three were done. But you can only make them look that so good, can't you? When they've just been tarted up, so you can see from 4, 5 to 6 the progression. They obviously look better than they did, but each one looks better than the next one, sort of thing, or the previous one. This one's bloody brilliant. The gun, you've got enough weapons. You'd never very, very rarely run out of ammo.
I think that was this was more of an action game, isn't it, rather than a survival horror.
Yeah. I definitely didn't play it. I don't remember any of what's happening.
I did play it.
Give it 2 weeks, you probably still won't remember anything that's happening.
But it's just because it's so fluid. There's no clunkiness to it at all. Brilliant.
I might have to revisit that.
So are you going to play 7?
And it's still. I think I have. Which one's 7?
7's
the one in the house.
The first person one, yeah, with the weird family.
Yeah. No, I've tried that. I've started that and played it until I got out of the house. I've done it twice now, and I just lost interest in it. There's too much puzzling in that. This one hasn't got puzzling in it.
I'll tell you a good one you might want to have a look at when you finish this one is if you're enjoying this. No. You want to go possibly Evil Within, but maybe try Resident
I've
Evil.
played both of them and Outcast.
We've played both Revelations.
I haven't played Revelations. No, I keep seeing it on there. And people keep telling me
don't play the first one. The first one's crap, but the second one's really good.
Is that with
I think it's on
Barry?
Game Pass.
Barry, what's his
Barry's
face?
in the first one. I don't think he's in.
But that's the Jill Sandwich moment, isn't it? Or is that in?
I can't remember. I know Resident Evil Revelations 2. I really was impressed. It was sort of like, holy shit, this is another Resident Evil game.
I've played that.
I was just really shocked that it was as good. I thought it was as good as 4 and 5.
You do a lot of switching between characters, don't you? In Revelations.
There's basically 2 storylines running sort of hand in hand, and then you do one of the storylines, and then you do the other storyline, and you see where they cross over. It's good. It's good. It's not probably as polished. It definitely won't be as polished as 6. And it's not really as polished as 5, but it's just not as polished as 5. I think gameplay-wise, it's definitely up there with 5 and 6. So
okay. I'm just.
It's usually
Biohazard. Biohazard's the only one that's
Resident Evil 7, isn't it?
Game Pass. Yeah. That's the
we haven't got the new one yet. We haven't got 8 yet. Maybe soon. You never know. Sure. Once they buy whoever fucking makes that. Who makes that?
Capcom.
Yeah. Once Xbox buy Capcom.
I've got the first 3 remastered ones. It's the latest. HD of
Resident
1, 2,
Evil
and 3.
original remaster is not much of a remaster, is it? I don't think.
I think so. I really enjoyed that.
Well, to be fair, it probably is a major remaster versus the first game, but it still looks. It's still like same camera angles. Not like it hasn't changed it like Resident Evil 2 completely changed the game, didn't it? When they remade that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so I'm enjoying that. There's a game come on Game Pass today called Edge of Eternity. It's basically Final Fantasy.
Boring then.
It's turn-based. You've got a team of 4 turn-based potions and weapons and
you summon big monsters.
Usual thing. There are some big monsters, yeah. And you come along, you walk, you go from we've got to go up here to this up this mountain, and on the way you meet things and battle them and move on to the next one.
I watched the trailer and I was like, "What the fuck? This looks like It looks like a Final Fantasy game, but it doesn't say Final Fantasy in the title."
No, it is Final Fantasy though. It's identical. Looks quite nice, but it's not. I don't really like turn-based stuff. I wouldn't mind playing a game like that if it was just actual. When you get to the fights, you could just do hack and slash and move on.
You play
I don't
Final
like-
Fantasy 15?
I've played some Final Fantasies.
But the 15
Definitely
is the one
played-
that's a bit more like real-time combat type of thing.
I can't be doing with just the story shit though. It's all
It's
same
absolutely
sort of-
fucking mental. But
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I played that for about an hour, but I give up with that. The last thing I
binned it.
did. Yeah, I've binned it. It's gone. So you better all fucking sit down.
I'm sitting down.
I have got Stadia.
Oh my god.
Now,
Be still, my beating heart.
Can you gift it to anyone?
now, how do
Summon Stuart Cullen.
I was on my free YouTube Premium today, which I've got for 3 months for free via
the
Game
Xbox.
Pass. This is
Right,
all.
okay.
This is ridiculous. How all this? Yeah, I've got Game Pass. Game Pass gave me 3 months free YouTube Music or Premium, and because you've got YouTube Premium, you can have 3 months free of Stadia.
Stadia
Now,
Pro.
this has been going on for Stadia Pro, yes, full 4K goodness. So I thought, okay, I will sign up for that. My Sony TV has got the Stadia app and it's got a built-in Chromecast. So I shall connect my Xbox controller to the Stadia and I shall give it a little go. The TV's already signed into Google, so because it's an Android TV, it's got Google Play and all that shit on it. So all I had to do was install the Stadia app, click on it, and away it went. You have to use your phone to purchase games. So there's a lot of free games on Pro.
Yeah.
I couldn't play any until I'd clicked on the app on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, and as soon as I clicked on that, it added it to my list. So the first game I tried was Darksiders 3. It works straight away. Literally clicked it on my phone to purchase it for free, and it comes straight on my telly. Works seamless. Works perfect with the Xbox controller. No lag. Beautiful. Start the game. Go into the settings. It's on set for full 4K. Full 5.1 surround or Dolby Atmos. Set it all up on all its highest settings. Check the internet according to Stadia. Yep, excellent internet connection and speed. It was 468 meg down and 110 up. Perfect. Started playing the game. Ran like shit. Janky as fuck. So I thought, okay, I'll take it off of 4K. Knocked it down to 1080. No better. Ran like shit. Juddery as hell. The controls were perfect. It was all doing.
So the actual response to your controller looked really instant when you posted a little video on WhatsApp.
Yep. Press the buttons. There's no lag on the controller. Absolutely perfect.
And that's surprising because you're connecting your Xbox controller via Bluetooth to your TV, which I don't think is a particularly great way of getting. That's not renowned for having a very good response time.
it works perfect.
Yeah.
Every button press was on the button. It didn't, because something you can tell straight away, can't you, when it's not quite right. There was no lag on the controller to the game at all. The problem was the frame rate of the game. It was janky, jiggery. It was literally like I was hopping along. I even knocked it down to 720p, and it wasn't any. It was a bit better, but no better. So I clicked back on to look on my, and it still said I had excellent Wi-Fi. So I don't know.
Have you
I
got
don't understand.
a thing that is hardwired to your router? Something.
I've got a 20-foot cable that I'm going to plug into my router tomorrow and run it up the stairs and plug it into the back of my telly.
Do you have
So
nothing?
it'll be
No,
one.
you don't have anything like a laptop.
Not that I can play Stadia on. No.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting
Matt?
to see how it works for that, because I've been loading up, because we need more people to tell it to for can't make judgments really on just that one experience. But so it'll be interesting to see what you say tomorrow or whenever you do it. But I've been sitting down with my Xbox One and firing up. What's the Xbox equivalent called?
Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Cloud. Yeah,
Cloud
that's
gaming
just as
or whatever.
bad.
And the thing I
no-
noticed was I was loading up a game this week. I think it was it was Dragon Age Origins. And it started, and I thought, it looks okay. It looks a little bit washed out, like you are watching a TV broadcast of the game you're playing. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look pixel crisp, if you know what I mean. And which I found was the same with Stadia when I tried it. And all the button presses and everything, very, very little lag, if anything, really. And I thought, well, that doesn't matter, because that's why I chose a game like Dragon Age, right? Because who cares? It's not a Twitch shooter. I don't need to be worried about milliseconds of button presses. And then as soon as it started running in-game generated cutscenes, not video, but in-game generated cutscenes where they're using the engine to generate the content, it just fucking went bananas. It did not like it at all. Every time it skipped to a new scene, you get these weird screen wipes and massive pixelation or jittery or whatever.
It's very dependent on what. I mean, I've played. I literally play a few games here and there on the cloud gaming because of me fucking Game Pass rewards, shit, and all that crap that you always fucking moan at me about. But if like I'm
I'm
on
not
PC,
sure how many insults one man can get into one sentence.
my PC, like I went in and there was a thing. I had a quest to play. One of the top 10 games, whatever. Apparently, their top 10 games was Chris Tales, and I was like,
What?
"Yeah, exactly."
Top 10 what?
I don't know
Shit
what the
games.
fucking top 10 how they worked this out, but it was one of the ones you had to play to get 250 points if you get one achievement. So I tried it, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? It was massively pixelated, blah blah blah, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm literally downloading about fucking 70 gigabytes of game in the background, and it didn't switch that off while I was doing it, so it just fucking didn't work, basically, because my PC, the actual thing I was trying to use to stream on, was using virtually 100% of my bandwidth to download something in the background. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's clearly the way it looked like shit. If I couldn't be asked to pause it, because I was like, this game looks fucking total trash anyway, so I'm not even going to bother.
I'm just going to grin and bear it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to even bother trying to get... I was like, oh, I'll probably be able to complete some stupid tutorial and get an achievement. I was like, I didn't get it in 5 minutes, fuck it, I'm not going back to that. But it's like, Xbox particularly, it's like, it doesn't like dominate your bandwidth to do the cloud streaming. It's like, no, all this other stuff that you're not is happening in the background. I'm going to completely devote all my resources to that bandwidth wise, and this is going to run like shit on your PC. So if you're playing on Xbox One, it's the same thing. I don't think it's like it's not got a priority call to say I need this bandwidth now, so it just runs like shit if anything else is happening on your internet.
what it does do on the
yeah, okay.
what it does do on the Xbox is if you have a game running, or because you've got what's it called, quick resume, there might be 4 games running in the background. If you've got any of those games open running, the downloads are hammered. So you can barely install a game. So
Right,
it
because they're
does,
always running an internet connection for themselves.
yeah. So it tells you you've got a game running. Shut it if you want to
Got
download
it.
this game properly. So I don't normally bother because mine still comes down at a ridiculous rate anyway. I'm going to defend Stadia a little bit here. It did say when I started the app that my Chromecast, because it's built into the telly, my Chromecast is not the latest version, and you won't get the best experience. But knocking it down to 720p, you would
You'd
have
have
thought
hoped it would have worked.
I would have the best experience.
I don't know what your
And
year your
I'll
TV
also
came out.
say, when the game was just starting and open, it looked fucking beautiful. The colours I turned it on and I thought, fuck me, that looks good. It wasn't until I started actually moving and playing the game, it all went
I'm
to
not
shit.
sure
But when
that your TV is particularly good either. Like I don't know when your TV came out, but my experience of Android TV built into a TV has been that it's not a particularly good experience of Android TV.
It's the worst, I would say. I always had Sonys. That's the last Sony I bought. I've bought Samsung.
So when was that? So it's like a little while ago.
Oh God, I bought it. No, I bought it 2 years. It's 2 years old, that one.
You just thought, oh, yeah. My dad had I think he had a Sony Android TV, and it just
That's 3 years old. It's
that wasn't
2019
like
come out.
pre-built into the system just ran like shit. And it was like it wasn't even trying to stream a game. It was just anything that was out on the Android TV system, but of that TV, it just ran like shit. He fucking refunded the TV in the end because it just didn't fucking work. But
If I had a Chromecast Pro, maybe that might make a difference. I don't know.
The best device I've ever used for cloud streaming is my Nvidia Shield TV thing. Well, it's not the tablet, but the box, and mine's a 2015 or 2016 version of that. It runs 4K and all that shit. But when I've got that thing, which is like I say, it's like 6 years old. I've got a 2022 or 2021 Chromecast TV, whatever, Google TV with Chromecast, whatever they fucking call it, like a little white oblong box, which is the latest Chromecast, and that does not run as well as my fucking Nvidia Shield from 6 years ago. Because that thing has got some fucking punch, considering how old it is. Like, it was when I did some illegal streaming, it ran everything fucking sweet. If I run the GeForce Now thing on there, it runs great. That thing's fucking pretty awesome. But it's like, when I got it, it was like fucking nearly 200 quid. The current version of it is whatever, nearly 200 quid.
See, I use that telly for watching Netflix and BT Sport and all 4K shit, and it runs beautifully. Never had a problem with it.
But that is literally buffering. Like, you know, the thing with that is, I watch BT Sport on my TV.
Yeah,
I get an alert on my
Sorry,
phone.
Neil, can I just interrupt you there? Because my brain is starting to whirl around a bit on that. Because then is it maybe not? So it's not necessarily. See, with Netflix, it knows what it's going to show you in 5 minutes.
There's no.
There's no decision making anywhere. It knows what it's going to
it stores it all
like
up, ready
Neil
to go.
says, right? So Neil, that's like Neil said. It knows what it's doing. It's not taxing itself.
It's got a bit of buffer in there. It's got like a good few seconds of info to fucking feed you before it fucks up. and it still occasionally fucks up when you're streaming 4K. But when you're like, that game has literally got to be, if you're running a 4K, if you really think about it, if you can play a game on 4K streaming, it's fucking almost mind blowing. It's just literally like almost instantaneously decoding a 4K digital signal on your screen, and you can still play a game. Like sending a signal back the other fucking down the stream to wherever it's fucking got to get to, and it actually work, even be anywhere near playable, is fucking amazing. Because that amount of information, like they say, if you want to stream 4K, you need like 30 odd megabits.
Well, I didn't even know whether
And
we were able to stream 4K.
That's just to stream a video signal.
I remember a couple of years ago, it was like, well, even if I could get a 4K TV, I can't get 4K. I can't stream enough to my house to have 4K.
Yeah, and that's just that's already, like, just to watch a video, it's definitely got a good few. Because I'm watching if I'm watching a football match on the 4K, my phone will tell me a fucking goal has been scored before I see it happen on the TV. Because it's obviously it's like fucking 20 seconds behind or whatever. Whereas if I'm watching on Sky, which is coming from a satellite, there's a bit of a delay, obviously, because of the speed of light. Yeah. But it's getting that information to me a lot quicker than if I'm fucking downloading it off a fucking stream, because there's a massive buffer of like delay.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that I was watching the Spurs game at work on my phone on BT, and my mate come in and said, "Oh mate, I can't fucking believe we're losing."
And you were winning.
It's 1-1. No, it was 1-1. I said, "What?" And then they scored.
Yeah.
And he's got it on his phone just for the text, bing bing, updates. And I reckon that was about 4 or 5 minutes behind.
Yeah, it's well behind if you're streaming video. And that's why, like I say, if it's in 4K, I don't know how it even fucking works. Because it's like, how are they... How does a button I press now... Like, you were watching that stream and you sent it, literally, you were pressing a button, it was like, click. It was fucking working like you were playing it natively on a computer screen.
The only problem is, they are saying that you don't need a fancy computer. You don't need a Series X Xbox.
You don't. You just need a good internet connection with our wire.
You need a tin can and a controller. Well, that ain't right then, is it? Because I've got a tin can and a controller, and I've got 1 gigabyte fucking internet, and it still don't work.
The problem is the
Wi-Fi is just shit.
The idea behind the tech is sound, but because of this, well, maybe this is I don't know.
But not everybody. I've got my Xbox and my TV and my BT TV in the snug downstairs is hardwired. We've got 5 more tellies, 3, 4 computers, God knows how many iPads and shit. Everything can't be.
Yeah, but so it's no wonder your Stadia don't work if you're on Wi-Fi as well. When you got all that other shit going.
Because no one was in. I was the only one at home today. Nothing was on.
But Wi-Fi is still shit. Unless you've got an amazing, like the routers they send you are still shit. And
okay, but Pilch is going to hardwire
it tomorrow, and I'll tell you. I'll get back to you next week.
I'd just like to say congratulations.
I want it to work.
That's the most we've ever talked about Stadia
and actually talked about Stadia.
Right. Look, for me, I haven't got a Windows laptop or PC. So for me, I know we keep saying, "Oh, who is this going to be for?" If that fucking worked, I would buy games that I can't get on my Xbox and play them through that. But it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work yet. Oh, well, let's see how you get on with when you get that hardwired.
I've got it free for 3 months, but I got the welcome. I signed up. Got the 10:30 welcome to Stadia. 11:06. Oh, here's acknowledgement of your cancellation. I've still got 3 months.
Oh wait, can you be the imagine? Here's when they're handing the piece of paper to the boss. Here's the averages for new onboards to cancellations. He's like 11:06. Gutted.
I've got 3 months. It's not they haven't done the shitty Apple thing where you get 6 months free, and then if you cancel it the next day, so you don't get an automatic payment in 6 months' time, they just fucking cancel it completely. I have
You know
still
what happened
got
to me today or yesterday?
warning.
I got an email from Microsoft saying, "Thanks for renewing your Microsoft 365." I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was supposed to try and get a fucking cheap code for that before it fucking ran out.
No. Dear.
So I have still got Stadia Pro until the 11th of May. So
right.
I got enough time to. I was amazed that even the control you can use any controller. As long as it's got Bluetooth.
Yeah, Bluetooth's notoriously not particularly great, like latency.
It was, mate. I was astonished.
So I
It
was quite
brilliant.
impressed with how quick that was reacting. But
I tried obviously because Darksiders wasn't running very well. I obviously fired up PUBG, didn't I? That was fucking horrendous. No. I had to start again. I had to go through the tutorial, and I thought, no, I'm not doing that. Thank you.
All right.
yeah, fucking, I had that experience at the week whenever that was when
Again,
we started playing.
if it worked, I could play PUBG with you lot.
No, you couldn't.
Can I
No
not play
crossplay.
through Stadia?
No crossplay.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
only
So I can
works
only
on
play with
Mate, you
Stadia.
couldn't
Stadia
play-
works
you
with
couldn't-
PlayStations
you-
and Xboxes, don't it?
Yeah, you couldn't play with PC players.
You can't handle it.
So Stadia players can only play with Stadia players.
No, Stadia players play with console players.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
PC
but that's what I
Elite
mean.
can't play with the PC
You could
Elite.
dominate the Xbox crew.
So I could play. Hang on a minute. You're saying I could play Stadia versus Xbox?
I think so.
I can't play Stadia versus PC.
No,
No.
because we've got mouse and keyboard, which is superior.
You can
in
play
every
mouse
way.
and
I can plug a
keyboard with
mouse.
No, it's not even to
Oh,
do with
you
that.
could do that. Yeah,
You can play mouse and keyboard on Stadia as well, but you still can't cross platform with proper PC players.
Okay.
We are
Well,
the
fuck
master
it anyway.
race after
Fuck
all.
Stadia.
Okay, are we done with Stadia now?
Yeah.
Not yet. We got more next week.
Next week, yes.
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
update. Stadia up. No, I'm not here next week.
Oh shit! 2 weeks. Ooh, maybe. Oh, how did you get that offer, by the way? Because I was looking around, going, "Oh, I've got YouTube Premium. I haven't."
Hang on a
got
second.
No
We're done with
Stadia
Stadia.
offer.
We're
Oh,
done
I
with
know if I can
Stadia.
get Stadia.
You can just go into YouTube and go into manage subscriptions or something, or benefits, and it's in there.
Right. Okay. Maybe.
3 months free.
Everybody who's listening, we're all getting on the Stadia train.
Apparently, if you'd done it a couple of months ago, you would have got the controller and the Chromecast as well.
God
But
damn
they've
it.
ran out.
I think there's tons of
Wow.
our listeners who have Stadia anyway, who just haven't used it.
Tons of them.
2.
Who's of them? Oh, okay.
Okay, let's move on.
If anyone's got a Google Chrome Pro that they've never used, send it to me and I'll fucking see if it works with the thingy. But otherwise, no.
I bought a thing
Anyway,
for my
move on.
Chromecast that hardwired it. So.
All right. Well, Pilch is going to hardwire next week when we're talking about it again. We're done with Stadia.
Not
If
next
anybody
week.
Oh yeah, the week after. Okay, I'll go next. I'll ignore my first one because we're going to come to that at the end. We've talking about PUBG, so why not talk about PUBG? You'd already been wrecking fools, Neil, with PUBG. We talked about that last week.
Talked about that last week. I haven't played it since, I don't think.
Yeah, probably the only thing. Everyone's been getting back into PUBG in a big way. We've played tons of it. Saturday we played a lot.
We, as in like 4 of you.
Yeah, three bouncing between. I mean, one of the Arnie was off, so he was or his missus was away, so he was put in a massive shift. I joined him for most of it, I think, and so did a few other people. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun. Everyone, I think, is having a laugh. There's a lot of activity around. The only thing I would take away is I had a session with Arnie a couple of nights ago. Excuse me, or was it at the weekend? I can't remember. I'm losing track of when it was. Duos, tremendous. Just had a great time playing duos. So I'm trying to I need to do a bit of a mindset. I found myself getting really frustrated earlier on in the week, and I think the problem is when you play duos, you know exactly you're working as a team. you can't hide, you know, or not, or do something that the other person doesn't know you're doing. You know, by that I mean like going off and being a free spirit, right? With the 4 is just right at the moment. I'm having trouble with 4, and it's probably a little bit the same with like that Back for Blood when we were playing 4. It's too chaotic. The people need to talk more, or be on the page. Be on the page to get shit done properly, right? And PUBG is like that. And I think it's all right. We played tons of squads in PUBG before. This is a me problem. This isn't the game problem. This is not me trying to say people need to sort their shit out, even though I might say that in the game. It's just lowering my expectations, and that really became evident when I played duos with Arnie. And it was that we won three chicken dinners on the trot. You know, we were just so focused and working well together. And then when you play as a squad, I just go bananas, right? Because you've got Matt over here who's running around trying to get every vehicle he can or whatever. Sean or Arnie are just like cowboys running for crates and trying to shoot people. There's me trying to, you know, either hide or just try and be as quiet as possible, just trying to see what we can do to get to the end game. So it's just squads is pretty mental. I find it. It's a me problem. I need to lower my expectations. Have more squad should be about having a laugh, not about trying to win the game. I think, and if you win the game, it's a bonus. Whereas duos, it's very easy just to play with someone and be focused on what your objective is. Anyway, that's my PUBG sort of rant, sort of analysis for the week. But it continues to turn up very, very amusing situations almost every game as well, no matter what. So it's been good. It's been good. Are you coming back in, Neil? We haven't seen you for the last few days.
Yeah, well, I've been busy, like I say. Anyway, with fucking shit at home.
But you did enjoy it. You're like, you'll come back and play, right?
Yeah, maybe. Oh,
come on.
Depends if there's a slot available. I was like waited around for fucking ages on Saturday, and he was just full of you there constantly. I was like, fucking hell. Fucking having a bit of a sesh there, aren't they? So I was like, there's no room. There's only 4. Isn't it?
Yeah. Although we were playing the other day, I thought we were close to having 6 people. And I was like, come on, then let's just go 2 teams of 3 and try and line up into the same game, because we've done that before, which is quite funny.
Does it actually work?
The problem is if you're playing a game that's like half an hour long and one of the teams gets wiped out pretty much straight away, then it's not that much fun for them.
That's always been the problem with that game. If one person, even if you're in the same squad, it's a bit like
Yeah, that's the other thing with squads. Like once you can lose a limb and the team can still go on for 20, 25 minutes, right, to the end of the game. Whereas if you're duos, once you're one man down in duos, it's like you're probably losing whatever. You're probably both dying. Like you're going to do everything you can to pick your mate up, or you're going to die in the process trying. So yeah. Anyway, still good. So that's
you can
PUBG.
Always come and play with me instead. There's never a full crew on the Xbox PUBG.
That's all right. We've got jobs to do, Pilch. We haven't got time to start playing PUBG as well. But before we get to that, Death's Door, I did play more. I've played more Death's Door. I finished Mr. Frog. It's one of the main bosses. Can't even remember what he's called.
Well, that was after. You must have gone back to it after your stream. Because you were on your way to meet Mr. Frog.
Yeah, there was I think last Saturday and Sunday, or definitely Sunday and Monday, I put in some good shifts on it, and I finished Mr. Frog. He was pretty straightforward.
I think the big bosses aren't actually that hard.
Yeah,
like there's a bit of like they tell you their things quite straightforwardly. Like it's quite obvious what they're kind of going to do. And you're obviously in boss mode, so you're like, well, I'm going to be a bit careful.
Yeah.
But those, like the mimic chest things, they're fucking hard. When you've got like a multiple wave thing to deal with.
Yeah, I think
any of those areas.
I'm preferring those waves more than the boss fights. The boss fights are cool, but yeah, like you say, I think I beat Mr. Toad on the first meet. I don't even think he killed me. But at the same time, if you remember him, there's one point in the fight where he sucks away part of the floor. And I found that if you take an arrow and shoot like the back of him, repopulates. It repopulates the floor.
Yeah, there's a lot of little
if
secrets.
I hadn't figured it out, maybe he would have killed me because you maybe run out of floor. But I figured it out straight away, and then it was just a rinse and repeat, and I never found it that challenging. So yeah, there's something else for him.
You get because there's a load of achievements linked in the boss fight. There's certain things you have to do in the boss fights to get some of the achievements. That was a few of the things I didn't get achievement wise when I went through it.
All right. But I did take a turn yesterday or the day before and went down through some door that opened up, and this golden knight is in there. I don't know if you remember him. It's just like a circular platform, and he's just beating the crap out of me. I've gone in about 2 or 3 times, and it was the first time in the game I just walked away from saying, there's no way I'm tough enough to fight him. I'll come back and get you later once I've got my.
You've got some new abilities and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, get the skill tree buffed up a bit and whatever. So I'll keep going on that. It's still bugging me a little bit about the map not being,
it's not a problem if you play it consistently and just play it until you're finished, but because you'll be like, I know exactly what I'm going to do next when I come back to it. I definitely had that problem where, like, if you didn't play it for a few days and played things in between, particularly, you'll be like, what the fuck was I doing again? I can't actually remember what I was doing. Where do I need to go? And you spend a lot of time wandering around through the wrong doors, especially when you've got a fucking ton of doors open in your like the hub area. If you've got like a fucking 20 doors, you're like, which fucking door was I supposed to go in again? I can't fucking remember. But yeah, still, I loved it. But
yeah, I'm gonna finish off this third. Hopefully, I gotta find him first or her. This third boss, beat the third boss, see what kind of upgrade I get after that. Then I might do a quick whip round to all those 3 areas and just try and find bits that I might have missed or secrets
you couldn't do before, yeah.
And or areas I couldn't access before I then move on to the next stage, whatever that is. So yeah, it's still good. And then that's pretty much. I refired up that drum game, Tetsuo Dick Noo or whatever it's called. Fuck, that was annoying. I uninstalled that after about 30 seconds. I was like, this isn't as amusing as I thought it was. It was just brutal.
I've not bothered with that.
And I think I tried about 10 games on that Xbox Cloud Save. I couldn't tell you what they are.
What was Dragon Age all about then? Did you not? You're not going to play Dragon Age?
I didn't get past the cutscene. I was like watching it. And it was like, it's Lord of the Rings ripoff. It seems right, but yeah, well, there's an elvish archer or something.
You played the old ones
with an axe, and no, never played them. But I know a lot of people like loved them, right? Some people I podcasted with before. I think Kim Woods loved Dragon Age big time.
I think what's Stuart Fowler was on about in Quiggy for ages, wasn't he? So, but I never really got on. I never played Inquisition, but I played the originals, and they were like, I was like, I don't really I don't care what the fuck is going on, and this is too complicated for me. Can't be asked.
They look like games you probably have to lose yourself in them, and I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, I just don't think like I'm really that. It's definitely not a me game. Totally not a me game. I'm like multiplayer shooters and what have you, and I don't.
Yeah, you're right. I think you and I have probably close to sort of similar, or most of us do. You know, there's certain categories of games we just don't really not prepared to.
You play Skyrim?
It's like Witcher and the Sky. I like Skyrim. I just didn't buy.
You can appreciate it's good, but it's like, I don't really.
Oh, mate, there was one point in Skyrim where it was just like this kid comes up and is like, "Ask me." That's how I finished Skyrim. Was when this kid I felt like I'd done so much, right? And then this kid comes up and he's like, "Can you find me this so and so?" And I just went, I am not. I'm just playing.
No, I fucking can't.
Yeah, I'm just a servant in this game to everyone. Like it just, I don't know. But then again, saying that, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, I loved them. So, but maybe it's that fantasy environment. I'm not like, I like Lord of the Rings, but I don't want to play Lord of the Rings. It's not.
See, I don't know. Would you class Dark Souls? It's dark fantasy, isn't it? Like, I don't like most of those. Like, I couldn't be arsed with Skyrim. I couldn't be bothered with Dragon Age. The Witcher, I played a bit of one. It was really fucking obtuse and complicated, but everyone raves about Witcher 3. I bought it when it came out for 16 quid, I think, and I've never really played it. But I'm not really into Fallouts, to be honest, either. But Dark Souls fucking just totally grabbed me. And that's like fantasy, if you want to call it fantasy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's like magic and fucking swords. But I loved fucking Dark Souls when I got into it. But
Did you never notice?
Yeah. I finished Skyrim. I played 40 hours of Witcher before I'd realised it was shit. I think
I think I think at Witcher 3 I put in a good 20 to 30 hours on that before I finally, and I liked it. I think the Witcher 3, it was well done, and I appreciated that, and I enjoyed it for what it was. And it threw up some pretty neat things where you find a grave, and there's and the grave exists because there's some wife who died, and you find her bracelet or whatever fuck kind of shit that they throw at you. And it was cool. And I was like, oh, this is different. This is neat. Right. Then after 20 to 30 hours, I was like, okay, this is it. I mean, it's going to be more of the same. And if I'd bought into it, then I would have kept playing it. But I was like,
the biggest problem with them games is the minute you put it down, you might as well just uninstall it. Because when you come back to it, you are not going to have a fucking clue what you were doing.
Maybe that's
if you go and play something else for a few days and come back to that, you just think, no, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know how I was doing it. Not got a clue. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
never get back into them when I do that.
I think as well for me, it's a little bit of a type of like combat with spells and things like that. Just doesn't really raise.
Did you not get through all the Final Fantasies and all that shit back in the day?
No, not all. Only 7.
Oh.
And then that was probably with a walkthrough by my side. But that's complete. I liked Fallout. I think I liked Fallout because I liked the fact you were building up an arsenal.
It felt like it could happen in the next 10 years.
Yeah, it felt like I was looking into the future, man. All right, Neil, what you got for us?
Okay, so like I say, I've not really played a lot this week. I've not been back on Sekiro. I will go back to it. I know where I am and I know what I've got to do, and it's just fucking really hard. So I've got to beat a raging bull. But yeah, I ain't done that yet. I've played the game I played most in the last week, I reckon, was Halo Infinite. I've just been jumping on there for I don't know, 2 or 3 games, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 games in a row, depending on how much time I got. Just grinding out fucking levels on me samurai bollocks on what's it called? Fracture.
Is this armor you're trying to get?
Yeah, I've got a pretty cool set of samurai looking armor now on my Halo character. But that finished on Tuesday, I think. So since then, I've still just jump in every day and do 2 or 3 rounds, maybe more, depending on how it goes. But I'm either really loving it and doing an amazing, or getting my absolutely ass kicked. So that's the way it goes. It's a bit like Call of Duty, isn't it? You'd have a great game, and then the next game you're like, oh, I'm getting my fucking ass kicked constantly. But other than in between that, I've been playing more Nobody Saves the World and just chipping away at it, progressing, trying to
Save the world.
Nobody Saves the World.
Oh.
Chipping in and trying to complete a few quests to level up the characters. Because I've got, I don't know how many forms I've got now. But there's definitely a few on the tree that I haven't unlocked. But yeah, I'm still thinking it's like a nice, just like pretty chill game. I quite like. if I do die in it, I don't really care. I'm just like, just respawn and fucking carry on from where I was. Doesn't stress me out. Doesn't piss me off. And there's all these quests I've got to work towards. One of the forms I've unlocked recently, I don't know if I talked about it, is an egg. It's just fucking random as fuck, and it's pretty cool. It's just it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's jobs to do, and my map is getting more and more exclamation mark points on it, which I can't see like where they are and shit like that. So little jobs to do. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little game, and I probably haven't really scratched the surface of what you can achieve as a build of a character, like where you can like switch around the abilities between different forms that you've unlocked, and you'll need to level up each one to unlock all of the abilities it has. So, but then what, like I say, you can switch. Like there's a horse. I don't know if I said I've got a horse now, and it does like a back kick. So you have to face the wrong direction to hit things and all that. It's just loads of little weird mechanics in each little fucking form, and it's just really quite cool. You should probably play it after you play Death's Door. It's pretty fun. If you liked Guacamelee,
Yeah, it sounds
or
like
whatever.
something like yeah. I've got to. Oh, that's right. This is by the Guacamelee guys.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
like it's not like Guacamelee in the slightest,
No,
but it's like
no.
that. That was I really fucking enjoyed that game.
No, I was
It
just
was
thinking,
really high quality.
I was just thinking, I should get on that, and then I was like, I better finish Death's Door.
Yeah, just finish Death's Door. Fucking don't start playing anything like this before you play that. But yeah, it's on Game Pass. It's really fucking, like I say, it's pretty chill. I don't feel bad when I die, and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty cool. And I'll just keep plugging away and plugging away and plugging away, and finding new combinations of weird, fucking mad abilities that you have that you gain along the way, and as I progress. And then that's basically all I played, other than Back for Blood with you guys. But you played a bit more. I mean, I just jumped in for I don't know, the last hour and a bit, whatever.
Yeah, Pilch, you want to talk about it first?
Yeah, we started again, didn't we? For some reason.
Well, I think we were sort of umming or ahhing, and I thought we should just start again. Like, I think grinding through it was more important to like just play rather than try and finish it, because I think and you didn't. I don't think you disagreed with me. At some point, we're going to tackle that end game, but right now, it's just we've got to put the hours in, right?
Yeah, we need the cards, don't we? Got to get
Yeah.
them cards. Got to get the right cards.
Yeah.
And now we realise that the game, that as you progress that run, you add more and more cards to your you activate more and more cards, and you can keep your attachments, and it makes the game a lot. It makes it easier for a start, because we were playing for a bit, dying, starting from that point, but starting from a new run, and we didn't realise that we were handicapping ourselves, because basically we're starting further in the game with less stuff than we had before we died. So
Yeah.
now we started from the beginning, and we played for a good few hours, a continuous run.
Right.
And by the time Neil joined in, we'd got a whole. I mean, he could suddenly add all his cards in one go.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think as well, I
so-
think you can do that. I think you can start a run anywhere, and it'll give you. It'll take you up to the amount of cards that you're supposed to have by that point. I don't think the weapons. I think you're right about the weapons.
yeah,
But
you definitely don't
regardless,
get your attachments and stuff.
I think one of the problems was before when we were playing, I'd put together a deck, but I hadn't put it in any order.
You haven't really
And
thought about it.
And so when we were playing, even though we were even playing the first level, I wasn't really probably giving myself a decent card. Whereas now we've got all these things we know better. We're handling the weapons better. Plus, my deck now is set to give me specific cards straight away that I know are straight away good buffs, like to stamina and speed and whatever. and I've been just playing around with my deck all week.
I always play around with my deck all week.
Yeah, I've done the same. I've put it in order of how I think how we should each progress each level with the next card, sort of thing. I was like, right, okay, once we get to this point, because there's going to be choke points on each levels, on certain levels, so you need to know he's gone again, and
Apparently,
he's back again.
Sorry.
So you need to know. You can remember where. Oh, right, okay, we get to this point. I really could do them cards at that point. So to start off with, it's not particularly hard going. You've got a lot of time, so you can build stamina stuff and take things off at distance. But at some point, you're going to need either a massive ammo buff or you're going to have a massive health buff. You need to sort of think about at what point in the game you're going to add that stuff in, because you might not need that at the start.
Mhm.
Whereas when you get to certain levels where like when we get into that bloody house, or we got to the swamp sort of area, that was just hard going. Things come at you from all over the place. So you need to try and think about how you're going to build your deck as you progress that run. So there's so much to it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They've
And then
done a massive update and put lots of new. They've buffed. They've cut a few things. They've added a few things, and it's some of the things that they like. I watched that video you put a link into. It's bloody fascinating. I would just say, literally, you can, if you all add these cards at the start, you can just go around and just do a melee build, and you never have to use a gun. You just literally, you've got so much stamina and so much health regen that you can just run around stabbing things all for the whole game.
Right.
It's just
But you have
ridiculous.
but you have to coordinate. That it was interesting because the guy out his videos are brilliant, right? And he was talking. I was watching him again today on something, and he was saying that's in a nutshell. That roughly that's what's the interesting thing about Back for Blood is that it's so the permutations of the amount of variables with all these cards. Like there's tons of cards, and they all do different things to weapons and abilities, and then there's all these attributes: stamina, all the weapon attributes, load speed, bullet stumble. Bullet stumble is something I've been concentrating on picking up any attachment. I played quite a bit this week on my own, just to try and grind out some more supply points, and I noticed it big time. Putting stumble was really helping me out. It was keeping it was stopping some of the big guys just long enough that they never became too much of a problem. And so there's all these different factors, tens and tens, I don't want to say hundreds, but all these different factors of the game, all of them influenced by different cards or whatever, that they're basically saying they'll never tweak this game to the point of finishing it, right? All it is, you have to basically resign yourself to the fact that a build you have right now can be completely fucking nerfed next week. And the week after, cards that you thought were no good have suddenly had a slight change in them that have resulted in something else being super overpowered. Like they're never gonna balance it properly. It's almost like
this is the thing. You've got to know each week what they've done to know what you've got to change your cards to be. Because it was a game changer when we found out last week that you could just chuck a grenade in the birds and it wouldn't scare the horde.
Yeah.
Now they're saying if you get the right cards, you've
You
got to
want the
scare
horde.
every single horde. You've got to scare every single horde. You've got to set off every single alarm, because when you do, you get such massive buffs with these cards that it just makes you invincible.
Yeah, but you've got to.
So
But
we've
at the
spent
same
the whole
time,
week. Yeah, we spent the whole week thinking, right, okay, we can't scare anything. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and now it's all changed.
well, I'm
Because if you
grinding.
get the right,
So the
if you get
gist
the
of
right
it.
deck,
But you need to get those cards.
Yeah, did you
That's the
watch it,
thing.
that's
Neil?
it. You've got to get the
I
cards.
did. Well, I didn't watch the whole video because it was quite long. Well, I watched
But
a
if you
good
watch the
15
fight-
to 20 minutes of it.
Right. So
We've
he's
all
basically
got to
said
get the cards. That's the
right.
problem.
So I'm
We've all
grinding
got
to
a
get those.
stack.
I'm grinding to get those cards as quickly
So
as
where
possible.
are those cards? What was
So
it? It
I
was
can
the
explain all that to you because I wrote down the supply lines that you have to go down. But it's not like you're going to have to grind for points. That's the thing. You have to grind.
Mhm.
You're no way you're going to pick them up in an afternoon. So I'm
Because
close
you
to
have to
getting.
buy a whole set. You can't just go, I'll have that
Well,
card, I'll have this card.
yeah. So basically,
You
you
only
have
get a
like
choice of 4 sets.
right, and there's only
Once you've
four
completed a set,
lines.
another one appears.
Right, and there's only 4
and
pathways
there's
you
one
can
that's
go.
always like a
Hmm.
time limited one, isn't there?
So the gist of these cards is that one of them is like one of them's main point is that as soon as a horde is triggered, you get 25% extra
And everyone
health.
on your health, and everyone on your team gets 25.
Everyone on the
Yeah.
team gets 25%, right? And then but it stacks so that if everybody
If
runs
every
the
single
card
person, you get 100.
every
You get
time,
100%.
right. So he's basically saying it's in your interest most of the time to have a horde because
Because
everyone
they're not
gets a
that
sudden
difficult
health
to
buff.
deal with generally, especially if everyone's got 100% health every time they appear.
Right. And then he was
Hmm.
saying the second card, which I think was called On Your Marks,
Yeah.
was 25%, no, 15% extra ammo when a horde is alerted. So that if everybody has that card, then everybody gets an extra 60% of ammo every time a horde. So basically, you're not going to run out of ammo and you're going to be super buffed on health. So he's basically, that's a game breaker, right? So
Yeah.
before they change that,
That's definitely
which will
getting nerfed.
that's getting nerfed in the next probably in the next patch. So we
The next
probably
week.
have 3 weeks to try and get these cards and enjoy them while we can. Because they'll probably do a patch. They wouldn't do it every week. They'll do a patch
No.
probably every month or every 2 months or something. So I would have
But
thought it'd be
then,
interesting to find out.
but then some of the guns, they've just tweaked them a little bit that makes them just so ridiculously
No,
overpowered.
the amount of ammo you pick up and stuff has changed as well for certain things, hasn't it?
Yeah.
changed
Shotguns,
loads
now
of
you get
stuff.
60. Instead of getting 25 shells, you now get 60 shells when you pick up
Okay,
shotgun ammo.
so I'll tell you what I've been playing with this week. I got the 2 cards that deal with getting more copper. So one of them is I spot
Mhm.
every bit of copper that's in the level, and the other one is everybody gets a 5% bonus on their copper. I'm not using that one, but just being able to see all the copper means I was just getting loaded.
That's one of mine that I usually use.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I think you only need one person to run that then. And
Yeah,
then
then everybody sees it. So that's
and then the other one I was running was I got the extra grenade pouch, or no, it gives you, I think it gives you an extra grenade pouch and maybe an extra. Anyway, it doesn't
Equipment.
matter. And for some reason, I got a buff. I picked up another card, which gave me another slot. So I had 3 grenades. You have no idea how much better that game is when you can suddenly carry 3 grenades instead of just the one. It's like so. I think there's just way more fun to come with this game the more we play it.
yeah.
It's definitely very complex, and there's lots of permutations, isn't there? So that most people probably play for like an hour maybe and go, whatever.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just a
that's the
zombie
thing,
shooter.
right? Right. I think this game suffers big time from the fact that it's called Back for Blood and it's associated with Left 4 Dead, because I
And
think
the thing
if you
is,
come into it, it's not the same. You know.
and we're playing it on the lowest level. We're not even getting anywhere near a challenge. Oh, this is the thing. We're playing it on amateur, which is like baby level. And
Yeah,
we're still getting rinsed.
yeah, but that one, I don't think that will take long before we have once we've got a good handle on the levels. Because the other thing it does is like I've noticed this because I've played through the first like 3 to 4 levels of the first act, a couple of times a day for the last few days, just grinding away, and I can get through the first couple of levels really quickly. I now know them pretty much by the back of my hand. But then you get to that level where you have to place the explosives on the boat, and it completely changes up. Like it totally did me over It's like it has a real good way of it suddenly completely changes pace on you. Like 1 minute you're slowly, methodically creeping your way through a level. Then the next minute you've got to do this mad dash, because if you don't, I got a feeling it just doesn't let up with the enemies, right? So you have no choice, but you got to step on the gas and get on with it. Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm really, really impressed with it. It's not as much fun on my own though. Solo.
No,
No,
I've played it a few times, and it's. Have you been playing literally with bots, or you've been
only
playing
with
with
bots.
randos?
Only with bots,
Yeah,
because I want to take my time and look at stuff and look around, and I found I was finding way more cards that I think we'd missed before. Or
yeah, because there's supply cards all over the place, but we just obviously don't go looking for them.
But when you find them in a
Yeah.
run, that's literally you don't get to keep that card, do you?
No, and they tend to be. I think they tend to be. There are cards that you can buy, which are more, which you don't. I don't think you keep. You only get for the game, and
Yeah.
they're like the normal cards
Yeah.
that you're playing. But there's also other. It's almost like a shittier box. I think I'm beginning to notice it now. It's like a shittier box of the card box, because the card box looks like a metal container, that right. This one's a shittier box, and it gives you like ammo capacity upgrades or whatever and stuff like that. So those are good to find as
So
well.
someone needs to explain to me what the burn cards are for, because I have not got a clue what that's all about.
I don't know yet. I keep hearing about them, but as far as I can work out, they have nothing to do with us yet. I was watching Swing Point do a nightmare run earlier, and it looked as though their burn cards were involved in the campaign, but I
Right.
don't know how yet.
No, because I've got a burn card.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, but I didn't know what it did or what I did with it.
Oh, you'll have
When
to
I
do
went back in to look at it just says, "Oh yeah, you've used a burn card," and I thought, well, I don't know what I fucking did there, and that's the first time I even knew that it was a thing.
Oh, right. Well, we'll figure
So
it
I
out
don't know.
at some point.
But it's still bloody. It's just so much fun. So much fun.
It's just
It just every time we play it, we seem to be approaching it in a completely different way. We're just modifying our play every time we play. Just
I can see that. Yeah, like you do a run and you go, we were struggling with that. Well, then you can just go back and make a slight change, right? And just go, well, if I'm struggling with those guys getting too close, all right, I'll do everything I can to maybe buff up a sniper rifle or something that we can keep those guys at bay. If you can work with, if you can get a really good close team together to all share abilities, or someone can cover you. It's what we said that from the start, right? You need someone who's going to.
The problem, as we said, the problem is you get someone who hasn't played it for much, they're not going to have the cards. So obviously, the more experienced players you've got, the better you can do teamwork. If you've got someone that's only got 3 cards, then they're not gonna have the ability to stack up to counteract something that you've got on your deck or whatever. So if you want to play with us, people, you need to put the hours in.
Get grinding.
Yeah.
But it's not terrible. Even having someone who's a new player or whatever still would be fine, because they're still going to bring cards. They're still going to bring, depending on the character they pick, they're going to bring an ability to the team. And then they're still going to be building weapons up during the game and stuff like that. So they're just going to be missing some of the card buffs. But I'm not sure what, like, the starter deck. How good is the starter deck? I can't even remember now.
You only get 5
I don't even
cards
know
in
what
it,
is
don't
in
you,
the
until
starter
you
deck.
start unlocking them.
Oh, okay.
Which is good enough for the first 5 or 6 acts. So it's enough cards, I
And
suppose.
by that point, you're going to probably have made
you
enough
would have got a
supply
few
points
more.
to. Yeah. It's good.
We've definitely got to look into our character selection as well, because we've just picked characters that we like, sort of thing, haven't we? We haven't really tried to build as a team. We haven't tried to, because in theory you should really have you should have a deck of cards for every character, because they're going to bring different abilities into the game.
They
So
did say they
already
were.
playing with,
They did
someone's
say they
playing
were.
with one character. and you
Yeah.
can't have the one you normally use. You've got to have another blooming backup
Well, you
deck
can have
for a
16
different type
decks
of
now.
character, ain't you?
They said you
16
can hold
decks?
16. Yeah.
Yeah, because
16
8
builds.
weren't enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only got one.
So have I.
I've only got one. I'm just modifying it as I go.
Yeah.
But
But
I
yeah,
can
So
see
is there
myself.
like a
fascinating
limit
game.
to the amount of cards you play in one run? Then I assume
Yeah, 15.
It just
15 in
yeah.
one run. So is it worth having more than 15 cards in a deck?
No, you can only have 15
You
cards
can
in a
only
deck.
have
Right.
15.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's definitely
Yeah.
worth having other builds.
Right.
Um,
So it's
so
multiple
I
decks.
so
Is there?
yeah, so yeah. So I think I could build a really, I'm getting close to being able to build a really good melee build right now. I'm so close. No, I think did I get Meth Head? I may have got Meth Head yesterday. So Meth Head gives me a massive stamina regen and I think it's like a 40%.
That's the problem with melee, isn't it? It's like if you're swinging that bat, it's like, oh, now I'm out of stamina. And,
Yeah, I think the Meth Head one gives you like a 40% increase in the speed of your melee, and then like a 40% stamina regen rate, and then you never get your axes stuck in bad guys' heads or something. I don't know, right?
See,
But
I still haven't got.
but it's not. There is a piece of red on it, which is like you lose the ability to ADS. Well,
if
you
you're
got
meleeing only, that's
you-
fine, isn't it?
you got a bit give here, a
I
bit
still
take
haven't got my
there.
head around the trauma malarkey yet either.
So that's
Okay,
the where you lose
Trauma's
health bar.
permanent damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So once you build the trauma up, you can't then. You can
Not
only.
health.
If
Heal
you've
it
got
for-
20% trauma, you can only.
There is a
heal
way
up
to get rid of
80%.
it though, isn't there?
Yeah, you can only bandage up trauma at health stations. So if you take a first
Right.
aid kit, you can't repair your trauma. You can only heal yourself. So trauma is bad. So there's loads of things for trauma resistance.
Yeah, it is quite complicated.
Yeah.
A lot more
Yeah, it's
complicated than
very
it
good.
appears on
Very
the
good, though.
surface.
Yep. There's a lot of depth to it. It's good. Okay, that'll do for Back for Blood this week, and I think that will do for the podcast.
Indeed.
Then, who wants to do the leaving bit? Anyone?
I've already lost it. Hang on, let me go back. I'll do it.
Have you got it?
Let me go back into the docs. Hang on. Right, there it is. No, don't want to load. Right, there we go. Right. Dave's bit. Okay. So we have an email you can contact us on, sealpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter @sealpodcast, Twitch, sealpodcast, YouTube, seal space podcast, and of course the Discord is also Seal Podcast. Come and join that. There's
a
generally
link pinned on the Twitter.
there is a link pinned on the Twitter to all of those, and on our Twitch as well. I think, isn't it?
There is.
Yes.
It is on the Twitch, and if you exclamation mark Discord in the chat, you should receive a link.
We do try to Twitch. Well, definitely will be twitching some Back for Blood this weekend.
I'm
tried
hoping
to
to get
go on a Saturday
something
morning,
done.
Haven't. Yeah, we keep saying it, but we've got things going on.
If anybody wants to come in, if anybody wants to come and join in on that Back for Blood, well, we've got a couple of nibbles on the old Discord, but we haven't managed to put a 4-stack together for a little while, so we obviously have space right now.
So what we've got on the go at the moment, we've got Back for Blood on the go. We've got some PUBG. If anyone wants some PUBG on the PC, that's a thing we're doing at the moment. Or Stadia, yeah.
Valorant's always a thing.
Valorant, well,
needs to be a bit less of a thing lately.
Valorant's just taking a back seat to PUBG for a little bit. I'm still grinding my Valorant dailies in the background. I think everyone is.
If anyone wants to join me on Resident Evil 6, just jump in. I will be playing that most of tomorrow, I should think. Poor old Call of Duty's taken a bit of a back seat. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something about that. bit worrying. I haven't
Stop
played
playing
that
Call of Duty.
for a little
Be the
while.
easiest thing. I reckon.
Right, okay, that's it then.
Good. Okay, well, I'm going to grind back for blood over this weekend at some point, so I'll ping just so anybody can jump in.
Cool. Yeah, best
Good.
thing, like I
Okay.
said before, is best thing. Join the Discord, get involved, and message on the Discord is the easiest way, because some people aren't on Twitters or anything else. That's the easiest way to get people's attention.
Yep, that's where we are. Okay, all right then. Thanks everyone, and until next week, we will see you later.
Yeah.
Laters.